Temperature around 86 degrees and beautiful blue skies overhead. And there is your weather forecast. The weather will be a factor for the visitors. They brought their fans with them. The cool zone on that pit bench. It will be a factor for the Panthers, as will this 10th ranked Hurricane team. Tell you what though, Coach, last 2 years Pitt has not been very good, but they've given Miami all they can handle. A 1-point Hurricane win last year and a 5-point Miami win 2 years ago.
I think starting with the special teams right now, they've got to address this and make sure they beat Miami in the special teams also. They've got the specialists, but the teams have got to play.
George Gaitan will boot it away for Miami. It'll be Curtis Anderson 2 yards deep in the end zone, and the sprinter is coming out with it. He gets to the 15-yard line, brought down by Miami's Nate Brooks and Jeff Taylor. Brooks, number 2, a special team star. And there's Pete Gonzalez. He is a junior out of Miami's Coral Park High School. Meager numbers on the year so far. He's come off the bench in 3 of the first 4 games for Matt Lytle, but today his first start of the year and his 3rd career start for the Panthers. So Pitt's opening possession. Pittsburgh at Ohio State last week had just 4 first downs the whole day. Billy West on first down, met head on, just a 2-yard gain. Dennis Scott, the strong safety, came up hard to beat him. Here's a look at our Wheaties starting lineup, brought to you by Crispy Wheaties and Raisins. The raisin cereal with a big crunch. Billy West, 2 years ago, Offensive Player of the Year in the Big East, over 1,300 yards rushing. Reggie Thomas returns from a knee injury. He's their starting center. Orlandini, the best up front so far this year for Pitt. 2nd and 8. Chris Snyder, Billy West in the I set. Again, it's West. A little more room this time. And Billy West gets 4 yards. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 4. Kenny Holmes, the defensive end, playing terrific football for the Hurricanes. The senior from Vero Beach, Florida, the best Miami has up front. James Burgess in the middle, Twan Russell on the outside. 2 linebackers out of that Miami mold, physical and swift. And Dennis Scott gets the start today, replacing Tremaine Mack, who has been suspended for a couple of games. Mack, flat out the best athlete on the Hurricane roster, so a huge void to fill. And Pitt's first 3rd down. They need 5. This is Mike Duck, and he gets about 3. Kennard Lang brought him down. The big junior from Orlando, Florida, a yard shy of a first down.
Tackle by Kennard Lang.
Now Mike Duck coming off the bench. They like his giddy up, but Kennard Lang settled him down. And for the first time today, you'll see one of the best punters in the nation in Nate Cochran. And he will punt it too, one of the most dangerous return men in the country this year, a dazzling sophomore named Magic Benton.
This could be a big factor what Nate can do with the football in terms of field position. And he's kicking against the wind and still gets a great one off.
He averages 45 yards a boot this year. Benton makes the fair catch at the 29. A 47-yard punt. Miami getting set for their first at bat here at the Orange Bowl.
The punt is 47 yards. Pontiac Mazda.
With Dick McPherson, Eric Reed, welcome back to Miami. The Hurricanes getting set for their first offensive possession. There is the improved junior out of Denver, Colorado, Ryan Clement, running the offense to near perfection through Miami's first 3 games. 3 lopsided wins. He'll throw it on first down, and it's batted back at him. First-time starter Maurice Harris, a senior from Leonia, New Jersey, with the block. And your starting lineup brought to you by Crispy Wheaties and Raisins, the raisin cereal with that big crunch. Magic Benton's made a big impact, leads the Hurricanes in receiving, tops the Big East in catches and yards gained. Casey Jones, the best center in the Big East, 2 years running. He's looking for a 3rd straight first-team All-Big East selection. That's 2nd and 10. This is the draw to Ferguson. Nice cutback. Danielle Ferguson picking up 5 yards to the 35. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Mooring and Miller in on the stop. And here's a look at the Pitt defense. Damon Gibson, a true freshman, is a standout. Gerard Miller, he's the most experienced. Today's his 20th start. Linebackers, couple of new ones for Pittsburgh. Julian Graham, Nathan Kirby, both freshmen, and Ernest Coakley, a very athletic junior college transfer. Curtis McGee, their strong safety, back from a season-ending knee injury a year ago, leads the Panthers in tackles. 3rd and 5, Miami hopes to keep their first drive alive. This is Daniel Ferguson. Had to beat 2 men for the first down and did it. Ferguson up to the 46-yard line, pickup of 10. Miami moves the chains.
You know, the great backs make people miss. A swing pass outside, man in perfect position to make the play, and they don't get the first down. Watch the misses. Here's the miss here. Here's another miss. And now he's bowled over for a first down, and that's how the individual brilliance of a great running back takes place. Twice he's run the ball, and here's what, look at the stats on Daniel Ferguson. Just glad he's back in the lineup. Great for Miami.
Well, they love his completeness, Dick. They say he can catch it, run it, and block. Do it all. On first down, Ferguson reads the hole and shoots the gap for a 3-yard gain. Maurice Harris again knifing in from right side end, along with Jared Miller to pull down Daniel Ferguson. Well, a week of transition for Pitt following that 72-0 shellacking in Columbus last Saturday. 7 lineup changes, Coach. What's Johnny Majors trying to send a message?
Well, Maurice Harris got the message because he's a insert in the lineup, and he's been a very dominant factor defensively for Pitt. So these things could work out fine, and everybody's fired up for Pitt, playing well right now.
On 2nd and 6, Ferguson in the Pitt territory. He gets to the 48, and that is a 4-yard gain and brings up a 3rd down and 3. And again, it's Jared Miller, the defensive end, a 5th-year senior, that made the stop.
Damon Gibson, the inside tackle, helped him on that play, too. They need to get a lot of people on Danielle if they're going to get him, because he can make people miss. Pursuit to the football is imperative here by Pitt.
Johnny Majors, he first arrived at Pitt 24 years ago, won it all with the Panthers back in 1976. Ferguson alone setback. First down, Tony Cater on the reception. He is pulled down immediately at the Pittsburgh 41 by Curtis Anderson. He was a starting wide receiver a week ago, Anderson, and he plays his first game as a collegiate player at defensive back today.
You see Miami moving people over, single coverage, forces the thing out, Carter's right down and makes the football play.
Tony Gator, 7-yard reception, and Coach, so far Miami 2 of 2 on 3rd down.
I think really what's happening is that Miami is doing exactly what they want to do, but by the same token, Pitt's making them bleed for every yard, and that's how you stay in a football game and don't get discouraged. They're playing pretty good defense right now. It's an excellent offense.
Tony Gator in motion. This is Daniel Ferguson up the middle. He may have lost the football right at the 40-yard line. He did.
He got it back fast, though.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Just a yard gain for Daniel Ferguson, who comes in today 3rd on Miami's all-time rushing list.
Now, watching this play, you'll see that the contact is what makes it happen. Inside, you better keep 2 hands on the football on contact. And a helmet came right in the football, but Danielle got it right back.
Mike Mooring, number 98, he had a good day. One of the few Panthers who played well last week in Columbus. He and Nathan Kirby on the stop of Ferguson. That's 2nd down and 9. The Pitt defense trying to hold Miami on their first possession. Clement almost intercepted. He threw that ball behind Tony Gator. And it was Curtis Anderson that almost had the pick. And what a terrific story Curtis Anderson is. An outstanding track athlete. And he's starting in a depleted Pitt secondary today. Coach, there have been some slow starts, good finishes for Miami in their first 2 meetings against 1A folks this year.
Well, the first nickel that Pitt's been able to use, a 5 or 6 man defensive back coming into the picture. It looked like the wide receiver and Ryan were out of sync on that play. He curled in when it looks like Ryan thought he was going to curl out.
Miami's 3rd try for a first down. On 3rd down, they need 9. Time for Clement. Stands in there and has his man. Chris Jones with a first down pickup all the way to the 15-yard line. On 3rd and 9, Miami picks it up, but there is a penalty marker back, which could negate the 26-yard gain.
That's a big break. Now, too much time. He has too much time to look around. Too deep of a cut. They can't allow Chris Jones to get down that deep in the middle of the football field. But I guess the penalty was against Pitt, so it's a first down inside the 20.
Personal foul on the defense. He penalized from the end of the run. Half the distance to go. First down.
Buddy Ward heading up our Big East crew today. Well, Johnny Major's defense, they were on the field 90 plays a week ago. This will be Miami's 9th play of a drive that began at the Hurricane 29-yard line.
Yeah, that's the first mistake. You can't rough people and get an extra 15 to 10 yards tacked on to a good offense. That's what you can't be doing. Just play sound, solid football. Pitt's good enough to stay with them. They're a respectable game if they don't go foolish and make penalties.
First and goal from the 8. Jermaine Chambers in motion. Ferguson up the middle. Ferguson slips into the end zone. Touchdown if it stands. There is a marker down, and it could be procedure against Miami. If it stands, dashing Danielle gets in from 8 yards out. It will stand. Offsides against Pitt.
Now, you said in the opening how valuable Daniel Ferguson is going to be to this football team. We're going to get a replay here right now. And again, watch the back, go into the football game, go into the hole, find a way through, bounce off tacklers, find his way into the end zone.
Daniel Ferguson, one of the best to ever play the running back position at Miami. That's his 22nd career score, which ties him for 7th, with Otis Anderson, the only other back that ever had a 1,000-yard season like Ferguson did a year ago. Miami adds the point after. The Hurricanes made it look easy. They drive the length of the field and score on their first possession here at home. Well, the Hurricanes made it look easy their first drive. 10 plays, 70 yards. Daniel Ferguson in from 8 yards out. Well, a year ago in October, Miami and Pitt met at Pitt Stadium. And last year's game was a dandy. Miami was in a dogfight. Matter of fact, the Hurricanes trailed in that game 16-10. Butch Davis remembers it well. Coach late in the game, Daniel Ferguson under 6 minutes left. Does he turn the corner? You bet. Into the end zone, 16 yards out, gave Miami a 1-point lead. But Pitt comes back. No, Ray Lewis, now playing for the Baltimore Ravens, picked it off. And Miami preserves a 17-16 win.
For the last 2 years, Pitt has really given the Miami Dolphins a game, both here and at Pittsburgh. And that's what they want to get done here today. And they bleed. They're not awed by Miami, but they are punctured because of what happened to Ohio State. Still, the win is with the kicker. But the first series was by Miami was a 10-play drive, 70 yards, and it really wasn't that easy. The only thing that upset me in the whole thing, to be honest with you, is the penalty for 15 yards, half the distance to the goal when they were down inside the 20. Other than what, they were hanging in there, Eric.
Wonder about the emotional ramifications for Pitt. Remember, last week, Ohio State scores on each of their first 10 possessions. And for Pitt, that all too familiar scenario. Offensively, 3 downs and come back and sit down. They need to hold on to the football. This is Hank Poteet from the 2. A true freshman trying to find one room, and he does. Finally pulled out of bounds at midfield.
That's the spark they needed to get something turned around, the field position. Hank Poteet, a freshman, furnished something that they really needed in that situation.
George Gaitan, the kicker, finally pulled down Poteet.
That just gets you nervous when the kicker is chasing a great runner like Hank Poteet. Just a wonderful play by him, good reception, cut it back all the way across the field, and you can see that he's got great speed and put it on. Now here comes the kicker into the picture.
46-yard return for the former running back, now a defensive back, Hank Poteet. So 1st and 10 at their own 48. Good start for Pitt's second drive. As Pete Gonzalez tries for his first throw, and he has his tight end right at midfield. That's DJ Dinkins, a former quarterback. He is a freshman, and he was pulled down by James Burgess, the middle linebacker, after a short 2-yard pickup. And we mentioned those 3 downs and out a week ago. You see 11 of their 14 offensive possessions, either 3 and out or turnovers.
I think the key right now, they got a great big play out of the kickoff. They've got excellent field position. They completed their first pass. I think all of those things are positive, and they need a positive feed all the way along the line here to stay in it with Miami.
3 wide, high formation behind Gonzalez, and Dinkins going to throw the option, looking for Butler, overthrown. And there is a penalty marker down. in the Pitt backfield. Let's go back for an update. Our Big East studio and John Sanders.
Thank you, Eric. From the Big East studio now, we take you to Boston College, but it's Navy on the early drive. Option play by the quarterback, Chris McCoy. The fake there follows his running back and just does squeeze across for the early 7-0 Navy lead. Back to the Orange Bowl.
Thank you, John. Navy looking to get to 3-0. Boston College trying to even their record at 2-2. Well, it was a holding call against John Major's Panthers. Tried the option flip with freshman Darnell Dinkins, who they've moved to a receiver spot, but they like his throwing skills. He was an outstanding high school quarterback at Shenley High in Pittsburgh.
He had no chance. There was somebody who was right there in the reverse. The thing that's hurting Pitt right now are the penalties. A holding, a roughing the passer, and an offside. Now they've got to stay tight.
On second down and 24, Billy West gets 6 back. Banged down at the 40-yard line. And it's Scott, the strong safety, putting a helmet in the West. And it's Scott starting his 5th career game with Miami. He's a hard hitter, tough against the run.
Made a great hit on the first offensive football play by Pitt. He is a hitter and makes everybody in the secondary for Miami better because he's brought the hit back to the game.
Miami with their nickel package in, just 3 up-front linemen on third down and 18 for the Panthers. And the draw comes to Billy West. West hurdling tacklers into Miami territory for the first time today at the 48. Dennis Scott and Eugene Ridgely on the stop, a gain of 12. That will be 6 yards shy of a first down.
Again, playing very conservatively. They know there's going to be a lot deep drops to take the pass away. They wisely passed it off to Billy West, keeps the clock moving and gets good field position. Now they'll have Miami in the hole because, again, you've got a tremendous putter, Nate Cochran, who's done a great job of putting up the air and making the ball settle down inside the 10-yard line.
Nate Cochran, the senior out of Greenville, South Carolina. His first boot, a 47-yarder. Had to go to the turf to pick up that errant snap. And perfect touch. Does it stay in? Yes. Could not ask for a better punt from Nate Cochran, but it does get into the end zone. So Pitt unable to down it. A 52-yard punt, no return. 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes.
That's a great
at their own 20.
Eric, that's a great return by punt by Nate Cochran. They've got to get better hustle down there and keep that thing out of the end zone. He certainly did a wonderful job there. The ball should be down inside the 5-yard line.
That ball bounced around, but no Pitt
jerseys down
there. And the Hurricanes take it off it.
Just under 6 minutes to go in this first quarter. Miami's second possession. They lead at 7-0. Ryan Clement has Carlo Joseph and Danielle Ferguson in his backfield. Magic Penton into the game. He's top of your screen. Clement wants to go deep to Magic. He had him by a step, but the ball was overthrown.
That's 1 of 7. They'll throw those things. Every game that Miami plays, you can expect them to go downtown on you. And you can see just with a long, incomplete pass, you heard the roar from the crowd. These Miami Dolphin fans are, not the Dolphin fans, the Hurricane fans are used to this and playing real well.
And, Coach, that's a track meet. Magic Benton, who runs a sub 4.40 against Pitt sprinter Curtis Anderson.
I don't think they plan on beating Curtis because nobody can do it at the Big East. He's kind of a dash guy.
Yes, he is. But playing defensive back for the first time in his career, the Panthers have been injury depleted in their patchwork secondary. 2nd and 10, Danielle Ferguson in trouble. And he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 16. That's a 4-yard loss on 2nd down. Phil Clark, a sophomore linebacker out of Miami, with a standout stop.
You know, Phil's had a lot of problems this week, just even practicing with a bad knee. Does a nice job of containing Danielle, just holding him up till other people get over there and help out. But again, Danielle Ferguson makes people miss. What a great back.
See what the Hurricanes do here on 3rd down and 11. Butch Davis's gang, 3 of 3 so far on 3rd down. Clement through the hands of Tony Gator. Would have had enough distance for the first down. Curtis Anderson on the coverage, but for the first time today, we will see the Hurricane punting squad. Andy Crossland handles both the punting and the kicking chores for the Hurricanes.
You know, Chuck Dreisbach, who handles the defense, that's a sigh of relief. He didn't want to go through a nightmare again of possession after possession to score. The second possession that Miami has, he makes them punt.
So Andy Crossland will boot it toward John Jenkins. Miami in front, 7-0 with 5 minutes left in this first quarter. Still looking for their initial first down. Jenkins on the one hop, roped down immediately on a 44-yard punt. Trent Jones there to cover it quickly. 4:53 and counting left in the first quarter. 7-0 Miami. Pittsburgh getting set to go on offense when we come back to the Orange Bowl in just a moment. Down 7-0 here, Miami, and including this game, the Hurricanes have outscored their first 4 opponents this year, 122-13. But Pitt coach, they need a first down. They need to keep the football, give their defense a little bit of a rest.
Well, by the same token, look where the ball is on the 40-yard line. That helps. You can thank John Jenkins, who with the ball scooting by him, at least had the courage to pick it up and hang on to it. And that stopped the play going all the way down from 20 to 10.
Pete Gonzalez under center. He started a couple of games a year ago, including the loss to Miami. This is Mike Duck. He's got a nice burst of speed. He makes it out to the 45-yard line where Kennard Lang from behind roped him down. But a pickup of 6 yards on first down for Duck.
96 Kennard Lang.
Now again, when you can give gentlemen like Billy West a rest and then the man comes in like this and breaks to the outside, they had to contain, but the contain was too wide. He came up inside the contain and is back outside again. A nice move for young number 7.
They like Duck. He was first team all-junior college a year ago, over 1,200 yards rushing at East Mississippi Junior College. He is out of Starkville, Mississippi. And a week ago in Columbus, he was responsible for 2 of Pitt's 4 first games. This time he is spun around and brought down for no gain. Big number 97, Michael Lawson, and Denny Fortney, the 2 tackles pinching him. Lawson, an emerging sophomore from Delray Beach, Florida.
You take that front 4 from Miami. Everybody talks about the dynamic outside people, Kennard Lang and Kenny Holmes. But Denny and Michael have come into their own on the inside. You can't test that inside too many times with those linebackers. The John Burgess is waiting there also. They've got to vary it just a little bit more. Play-action game and throw it.
This is a big third down for Pittsburgh. They want to move the chains and keep the football as time winds here in the first quarter. Gonzalez with time. Has his man. First down. John Jones, the sophomore tight end from Cleveland. 7th catch of the year. Tony Coley and Earl Little pop him out of bounds, but a 6-yard gain and a first down for Pittsburgh.
Now, Eric, you asked him for John Jones, just gave it to you. That's a big momentum builder. Moving across the football field, the positive yardage. Nice catch, knows where the first down is, doesn't care, takes the hit, gets the ball out of bounds, and moves the chains.
John Jones, he can run well, prone to the drops, but he can make some big plays as well. 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh in Miami territory. This is the fullback, Chris Schneider. And he gets nice running room to the Miami 40-yard line. Nearly a 9-yard gain right up the middle on first down. The 2 safeties, Marcus Wimberly and Dennis Scott, finally brought down the big fullback.
Now, here's what a fullback should do, and it makes the offensive line fake pull by a thing and a nice trap play. And Chris hits the hole on it and runs right into Dwayne Scott. Dennis is right there to make the play, and Marcus Wimberly, the other safety, comes over to help out.
Coach, they love Chris Schneider. They say that he is playing the best football of anybody on the offensive side, and the Pitt coaches feel he is maturing into the player they thought he could be. He's just a sophomore. Started all 11 games as a freshman. Second and short. This is Mike Duck. Penalty marker down. Duck does pick up the first down.
Looks like Pitt's hurting themselves again. Looks like an offside penalty against them. No, it's against Miami. The big break for Pitt. Now it'll be another move the chain, another first down.
Coach, you talked to Johnny Majors yesterday. What a rough week it was for him after that Ohio State game. He said he never had as long an afternoon in his 29 years of coaching as he did a week ago. How were his spirits when you visited with him?
On the defense, lined up in the neutral zone, 5 yards, first down.
That moves the chain. Now, as far as John is concerned, what you need is a mature man like that, trying to build a program up. He's not panicking, but nobody suffers any more than the coaching staff as well as the players. Internally, this is where it is. I know some alumni get upset. The young man on the field working hard every day to try to win, and the coach is with them. John Majors is a wonderful person and a great leader. He'll bring this program back.
He's been a winner throughout his career everywhere he's been. On first down and 10, LaFane Williams, a freshman from Pahokee, Florida, becomes the third Pitt tailback to carry the football here in the first quarter. Kennard Lang and Dennis Scott stopping LaFane Williams. A short pickup of 3 yards on first down. So this by far the best Pitt drive of their first 3 possessions. And at 38 left in this opening quarter, Miami with a 7-0 lead on the board. An 8-yard touchdown run by Danielle Ferguson on Miami's first drive. Andy Molinaro to the right, Mark Butler to the left, but the fullback Chris Schneider is chopped down line of scrimmage by Quan Russell, the fleet outside linebacker from Fort Lauderdale. And they've had so many great linebackers here, but they say Russell is as explosive as any of them.
Well, when you got James Burgess and Twain Russell right there, you can't get much better as a duo. And plus, the fullback has got to stay inside. He ran outside where the contain was, and nobody blocking the man they're after. Chris has got to learn to stay inside and take what's there. Big play here, excellent field position if they complete this first down.
They compared Quan Russell here in Miami to former Hurricane linebacker, current Dallas Cowboy, Darren Smith. 3rd and 6. The dump off complete. LaFane Williams has the first down at the Miami 21. A 10-yard gain, and 10 yards downfield, Kennard Lang brought down the freshman.
Now, exactly what's happening here. 3rd down and long. Taking the pressure off Gonzalez, just dunking it right out to the halfback and let him find his way, pick his hole, and run for the first down. He was picking a little bit too much. All he had to do was drive straight ahead on this thing. Again, Kennard Lang peeling off the rush, coming back and making the play, almost causing a fumble from the backside. Those are the dangerous kind.
Beautiful afternoon here in Miami. A nice breeze blowing right at the Pitt offense through the open end of the Orange Bowl. On first down, back to Billy West. He puts his helmet down, gets to the Miami 20-yard line. A 2-yard gain before running right into the chest of Miami's best run stopper, middle linebacker James Burgess. And that will likely be the final play of the first quarter. Miami scored the first time they touched it, but Pitt on their best drive so far today.
And that's how you play good defense. Have them sit right on the bench, the offense out here. The defense you can be proud of.
Stay cool, just like the Panthers here at the Orange Bowl. A high noon kickoff between 10th ranked Miami and the 1-3 Panthers of Pittsburgh. Johnny Majors made 7 lineup changes this week, including putting Pete Gonzalez back at quarterback.
Gonzalez throws a nice spiral. I think he knows our offense quite well, and he should be able to handle it mentally. He's going to need some help, I'll say that. Any quarterback does well.
John.
Well, Johnny Majors' Panthers just what they needed with a new quarterback. DJ Dinkins turning the corner, getting out of bounds right at the 18-yard line, a 2-yard pickup. That'll bring up a 3rd and 6. James Burgess knocking him out of bounds. We mentioned the true freshman quarterback. He's sort of their Cordell Stewart, too good to keep on the bench, but not good enough to be their starting quarterback just yet. A little bit of everything for DJ Dinkins.
I think what they want to do with Dinkins, just get him in and try to make a speed route. Look like he's going to roll out and try to sneak it in the end zone. But the Miami Hurricanes alerted to it, start pointing at him, and get everybody over there in pursuit. Now Gonzalez is back in their quarter.
This has been a good drive for them. This, the 11th play of a march that began at their own 39-yard line. The pitch to Schneider. The fullback wants to throw it into the end zone, and it's incomplete. Intended for the flanker, Jake Hofert, who was running a yard or two ahead of Dwayne Starks. The second time today, the Panthers go for a little razzle-dazzle.
Now you see in a football play, I think that Chris Snyder, the fullback, could have let that develop just a little bit longer. He put the pressure on the defensive back. He was alerted to it. Then could have made just a little bit better throw. Not bad for a fullback, though. Good call. Excellent try down here. Now they've got another shot into the end zone, and they've got the excellent football player. They've got to try to get a first down out of this play.
On 4th and 6, they will go with the field goal try from Chris Forensic. A 35-yard attempt out of the hold of Pete Gonzalez. The sophomore boots it. And Pitt does not get on the scoreboard. Forensic, who was 12 of 13 last year with his field goals as a freshman, has missed 3 out of 4 so far here in his sophomore year.
Had a great year last year, but he slowed down. Very disappointing this year.
So an 11-play drive ends for Pitt, and they are still scoreless. Beautiful view of the city of Miami in the background. Welcome back to the Orange Bowl. Eric Reed, Dick McPherson, and the Hurricanes starting slow again. Ferguson dropped it, and now in a dash straight with Danielle Ferguson up to the 22, the 23-yard line, brought down by the corner, Curtis Anderson. We are just getting things started here in the second quarter. Miami in front 7-0.
I think he just mishandled the thing a little bit bad handoff. But wisely went back and picked it up and made a pretty good play out of a bad play.
There are your numbers through one quarter. Very even. How about Pitt? Actually with 3 more yards than Miami. And look at the time of possession.
That's how they stay in the game. That's how you play good defense. Keep them on the bench.
On 2nd and 7, Clement has Magic Benton. First down Miami, brought down right at the 31-yard line by Curtis Anderson, who starts in that depleted secondary. How about going with a wide receiver starting as a corner today?
In Division I football, it's almost amazing that a young man can do that, and that shows you the diversity and the skill of the athlete and the great coaching ability of these people here.
Anderson starting in place of the injured Rashad Whitmill, who did not even make the trip. He's back in Pittsburgh trying to recover from a strained groin. So Miami keeps this drive going. They have it 1st and 10, their own 31-yard line. Daphnis, the tight end, in motion. This is Ferguson. Turn back inside. And Danielle Ferguson gets near the 35-yard line. A 4-yard gain. Julian Graham, the inside linebacker, submarining Ferguson. A week ago, Ohio State, they scored on their first 10 possessions.
You know what I like best about this stat? It looks like the Pitt football team has forgot about it, and they're playing another top 10 football team, and they're going after them. That's what's inspiring about me when you work around young people.
Well, resiliency, the key word for Pittsburgh this week, as they attempted to rebound from last week's debacle. 2nd and 6. Clement has Penn right at the 40-yard line. He will come up a few yards shy of a first down thanks to a hard tackle by Chuck Brown, the sophomore defensive back who hails from Bradenton, Florida.
You know, the amazing thing about the growth of Magic Benton, he knows exactly where he is on the football field. While he was struggling so much, was trying to get the ball just over the down marker to get the first down out of it. That's when you know that a young man is very, very conscious of what's happening around him on the football field. And that you know he's ready to play as a wide receiver anywhere else.
Just a sophomore. He's the first since Wesley Carroll here in Miami back in '89 to register 3 consecutive 100-yard games as a receiver. 3rd and 1. Ferguson, first down, spun down at the 46-yard line, a gain of 6. Roderick Humphrey and Julian Graham got to Danielle, but not before the senior picked up a Miami first down.
Again, it's 3rd down and 1, short yardage. There's no juking around by Danielle coming through, but look at the pressure on the outside. They didn't squeeze enough down to the inside with the outside blitz coming and allowed her. You can't do that. You can't give any hold at all for Danielle because he is plowing through, making sure he moves the chain. You have to like the way that both teams are playing hard-nosed, pretty aggressive, and very smart football right now.
On first down, Ferguson cuts inside, moves into Pittsburgh territory. Another nice bit of maneuvering by Danielle Ferguson. From behind, Roderick Humphrey on the stop. Another gain of 7 yards for Ferguson.
You know, Phil Clark came across there and almost made the tackle, and John Major said they worked hard, you imagine, in the season, working hard on tackling during the week. But but they've still got to get a little bit more sharper and crisp in that and make those plays. But it's awful difficult to make against a wonderful running back like Danielle.
Danielle just moved past Stephen McGuire to become the #2 running back in Hurricane history. 2nd and 3. That's Gerard Daphnis, another tight end in motion. Ferguson gets a nice little block on the corner. He'll come up a yard shy of a first down, but there is a flag down. Let's go back to our Big East studio. An update from John Sanders.
Thank you, Eric. An update from our Big East studio. Edwin Watson, a big day for Purdue. Big first half. 14 yards here. He twists, turns, fights his way into the end zone for the touchdown. He's carried 6 times, 110 yards. Boilermakers leading it 14-3. Back to Miami, where the Canes lead 7-0.
Thank you, John. This has been a little tougher than anticipated for heavily favored Miami. We're about 4 minutes into the second quarter and just one score on the board for Butch Davis and his Hurricanes.
Again, Phil Clark, who missed a tackle just the play before, came back and made a great play. Come thrashing through. Somebody tried to grab him. Cost a penalty. Bring the ball back. And long yardage, 2nd and long. Let's see if they keep Miami in a negative position.
You see by that stat, Miami's gotten better as games have gotten older. Clement, too long for Tony Gator. And by the way, Yatil Green, who we talked about right off the top, has strained a hamstring. We might not see him again today, so Jermaine Chambers and Tony Gator getting more playing time so far this afternoon. Well, what a difference a year makes. Miami a year ago got off to a 1-3 start, and they have improved in every regard the first 3 games this year.
I'm so impressed with the total program and how it's being run down here. Butch Davis has really put this thing together the way every person would like to have that college team represented. It's a brand new addition.
Clement in trouble on 3rd and 12. Penalty marker down, probably a hold, but Magic Benton on the receiving end. Inside Pitt territory at the 40-yard line. If it stands, a 17-yard gain. Hank Poteet lost his helmet, but chances are this will come back on a holding call against Miami.
Mike Mooring does a great job of putting pressure on him. Whenever you see a flag go in a situation like that, what happens, you see another person coming in, and there's the pressure right there. I guess
Holding against the offense.
Damon Gibson is the one coming in to make the pressure.
Against the defense. Offset. Replay, 3rd down.
Coach Ryan Clement, when in doubt, he looks for number 8, Magic Benton. Those two, in short order, have developed very good chemistry together.
Well, I think that they get 3rd down and long yardage here. They refuse the penalty, and now they've got a big play. But you have to admire the way that Ryan Clement stayed in the pocket, stayed disciplined, found the open receiver, and got the ball to him. Now, Holding had to go around him because of the pressure that he was getting. Good call by the officials.
Magic Benton won Clement's confidence in the opener when he grabbed 9 catches for 147 yards. 3rd and a dozen. On the draw, Ferguson doing the 360 spin. Trying to turn the corner, and does. But he will be short of a first down. Run out at the Pitt 48. A gain of 9, but they will be shy of the first down by 5 yards.
You can see that Ryan is bobbling the thing on a draw play with long yardage, 3rd down, and now again Danielle Ferguson makes a big play out of no play, comes all the way outside, but Poteet and Roderick Humphrey, everybody draws him to the outside and out of the ball. Punt Miami.
Second punt this afternoon for Miami's Andy Crossland. John Jenkins waits for it back at the 10-yard line.
John Jenkins.
The Miami bounce, but ultimately bounces into the end zone, so Pitt will get it at their own 20-yard line. Surprisingly low scoring so far, just 1 touchdown on the board for heavily favored Miami.
And Dick.
Welcome back to Miami. Eric Reed with the coach, Dick McPherson. Now here's the Discus Student Athlete of the Game, brought to you by Discus Athletic Activewear. Discus Athletic salutes the superior performances of these student athletes, both on and off the field. Discus Athletic proud to be associated with the outstanding versatility that makes these players unique. Tony Coley, who is a brilliant student, as well as Billy West, a civil engineering major. Plus, he does a pretty nice job of running the football for Johnny Majors.
You've got to be impressed with Billy West being able to be in civil engineering in this day and age and playing football besides.
Coach, so far we are impressed with the way Pittsburgh has hung in this football game.
I think that they're very wisely keeping the ball, mixing it up with a fullback, tailback, play action pass, and taking pressure off everybody. Watch the hit here.
Rod Mack, the redshirt freshman linebacker, stepped right into the path of Kareem Thompson, who is also a redshirt freshman. One thing we're noticing, Pittsburgh playing a lot of people on this hot day here early. That's the 5th running back the Panthers have used so far. We still have 9.5 minutes left in the first half. West heading right and heading down for a loss. Tony Coley, the strong side linebacker, stopping West for no gain. And we've got another update from our Big East studio. What's going on, John Sanders?
Well, Nebraska's trying to bounce back, Eric, as they play at home against Colorado State. They did not score last week at Arizona State. They score here, though. Scott Frost, the quarterback, all alone is Rashawn Jackson in the end zone, and Nebraska goes up 7-0. Back to Miami. Eric?
Thanks, John. Coach Mack, how surprised were you that top-ranked Nebraska a week ago shut out by Arizona State?
I'm very, very surprised. Tremendous credit to Bruce Snyder out there at Arizona State.
From the 26.
Nebraska will be back.
3rd and 4. West got an impromptu and will not get the first down yardage. Needed 4. Got just a yard against that very fast Miami defense. They're a hard group to run around.
Well, another thing is they're so fast, so speedy, that counter plays really are not the action. They can go and take on the initial thing and run right back and take on the counter, which they just did there. It's tough moving the ball. You've got to go aggressively right at them and try to get to the outside.
3rd punt this afternoon for Nate Cochran. Magic Benton awaits, and every time he touches it, always a chance something will happen. And he'll get a chance here from his own 30. And taken right down by Darnell Dinkins. A 41-yard punt, and Dinkins forces a 3-yard loss on the return. So the Panthers playing spirited football here at the Orange Bowl. They trail 10th-ranked Miami by just a touchdown.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the new Plymouth Breeze. Please, keep all hands and arms inside the vehicle until the ride comes to a complete stop.
It's Nissan's Model Year-End Blitz. Your Central Florida Nissan dealers are bursting at the seams with tremendous deals they want to pass on to you. Affordable luxury is the game plan for Nissan Altima. Right now, you can lease a 97.5 Altima GXE for just $209 a month for 36 months and $499 down. Nissan's Model Year-End Blitz. You'd better not wait. The clock's running. This deal ends September 30th. Visit your Central Florida Nissan dealers today.
From the Big East studio, it's Eastern Michigan and Michigan State this afternoon. Dwayne Goulburn opens up the scoring for the Spartans, a 2-yard touchdown drive, and they lead Eastern Michigan 7-0. Back we go to Miami and the Orange Bowl.
Thank you, John. A surprising score here in the first half. Miami has not been able to get much going since their first drive of this football game. Well, our Big East Players of the Week from a week ago, Jim Druckenmiller, the big, strong quarterback from Virginia Tech, engineering their win at home over the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. And 2 Defensive Players of the Week that were honored, the fine free safety at Boston College, Darrell Porter, and the pass rushing specialist for Don Nealon up in Morgantown, Canute Curtis. Congratulations to our Players of the Week.
I think it's nice to give them that special consideration. It's good for the league, it's good for the individual, it's good for the team. Congratulations to all of them.
See what Miami can do. 1st and 10, their own 28-yard line. Ryan Clement, 5 for 10 today, has his 6th completion. Carlo Joseph, the quarterback, still on his feet. Joseph finally brought down by Curtis Anderson, but not until he reaches the pit 44, a 30-yard gain.
Now it's exactly the same play that the Big East people saw Rutgers running against Virginia Tech last week. Fullback, flat, wide open, and running the football. Now he's going to excite the bench with the way he runs. He's picking up the enthusiasm of the Miami team. That usually spells trouble for the opponent. Right now, Pitt's got to squash something with a big hit of their own.
Just the second reception this year for Carlo Joseph. Magic Benton, the man in motion. Nick Williams, the new fullback. This is Ferguson. Breaks one tackle, breaks another, and is finally spun down at the Pitt 33-yard line by Curtis Anderson, who's making most of the tackles in the secondary. Another first down for Miami.
We get an outside blitz, which opens up everything in the middle here, and Danielle has a miss of the tackle, brings it back, and Roderick Humphrey is on the play, and also we get some help from another defensive safety coming across the play.
A 12-yard gain for Danielle Ferguson, who is over 60 yards rushing here in the first half. And it's Danielle's turn again. Coming short side. Boy, does he make it measure what? Elusive, strong, a north-south runner with a little pizzazz. Danielle Ferguson, he just had a 12-yard gain, and tack up another dozen for him.
See, Carlo Joseph sets the tone on his tray counter pass. And now Danielle's picked it up. He hits and he hits and he hits. When John Majors was talking about they had to improve their tackling, it still stands strong. We got to give a lot of credit to the great running backs of Miami, but Pitt has got to wrap them up and take them down to the ground. They are not tackling well.
Danielle Ferguson led the Big East in rushing a year ago, and he has regained his form. 73 yards on 14 tries so far today. On first down, Tony Gator wide open. Gator. Touchdown.
Now in this series, this scenery right here is a real big counterplay all the way over, and Ryan brings it all the way back to a wide open receiver. Now it's up to a big play man, make big plays, make people miss, and take it in the end zone with excellent blocking down there.
Tony Gator, he had a 34-yard touchdown catch at Rutgers 16 days ago. Made it look easy from 19 yards out. Point after from Andy Crossland makes it a 14-0 Miami lead. So the Hurricanes strike back, and that time they made it look easy. Ryan Clement with his 7th touchdown pass of his junior year.
Steve Young here. You know, Crispy Wheaties and Raisins has plump raisins, sweet flakes, and an incredible crunch. I love the crunch!
Good crunch. Bad aim.
Come crunch time, there's only one. Crispy Wheaties and Raisins.
To see the good college football games you can't get on TV where you live, you'd have to do this. There's a better plan. ESPN Game Plan. The games you want sent right to you. Call your cable operator or DirecTV for ESPN Game Plan. See Fridays USA Today for Saturday's game.
Something big has just arrived at Hardee's.
Hey, boy. Run tell them toast is ready.
Introducing the Texas Toast Bacon Cheeseburger from Hardee's. A quarter pound of sizzling beef, melted cheese, and bacon wedged between thick slabs of grilled Texas toast. Only at Hardee's. What will they think of next? America's favorite crispy curl. So popular, they're 21 points ahead of Dole and Clinton.
Right now, get up to 4 hours of body labor, repair dents, stings, rust, at a high-gloss Mako Presidential Paint Finish. All yours right now for only $299. Call Mako now. Auto Painting and Body Works. Mako, more for less, always.
Every civilization has looked into the unknown and seen a face. Ours is no exception. Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
An update on a Big Ten matchup in Bloomington. Northwestern and Indiana. Wildcats goal line defense cannot stop Alex Smith. He goes over the top. 7-0. The Hoosiers lead the Wildcats. Let's take you back to the Orange Bowl in Miami,
where the Hurricanes are starting to rev it up. A beautiful drive a moment ago for Miami. 4 plays, 72 yards. Tony Gator, who is out of Miami's Killian High School, The wide receiver coach here in Miami, Curtis Johnson, says this is the fastest man I have ever coached. And Johnson was at San Diego State when they had Marshall Faulk and Darnay Scott.
Can't say anything better than that, but Miami had a great offensive series. I want to see if Pitt can come back and do the same thing with this kickoff and move the ball down the football field.
From the 1-yard line, this is Hank Poteet. He had a nice return earlier and working on a second beautiful return. Hank Poteet finally dragged down. Jack Hallman pulling him down from behind at the 30-yard line. A 29-yard return for true freshman Hank Poteet.
But when you need a big play to get people excited again, Hank Poteet has done it twice with 2 kickoff returns, and he got great speed. Now you have to revive. Let's see what kind of a drive that Pitt can put together here. They've got excellent field position on the 30-yard line, 70 yards to go, 6:16 in the half. It's their job right now to keep on the field, give the defense a rest, so they can get over there and talk about improving their tackling.
Well, let's see what Pete Gonzalez and company can come up with here. On the run is Gonzalez. Booker Pickett had him in his grasp. Gonzalez got it away. So just an incomplete pass, but did you see the closing speed from Booker Pickett?
That's what you talk about athletes playing, you know, most of these young men are running backs and speed guys in high school, and all of a sudden they've grown into linebackers and can run down anybody. And hometown boy Pete knew that he was in trouble. Wisely threw the ball into the ground ahead of a possessive receiver there. Good call by the official, even though it looked like it was a sack.
Well, Pete Gonzalez is 3 for 5 throwing the football today. Last year against Miami, completed just 4 of 20. But he did have a touchdown run. Mike Duck, nice move line of scrimmage, but Quan Russell not about to let him go. The swarming Miami defense. They've been one of the best in the country this year.
Now you're starting to see some excitement in the thing. They've got one back in the backfield. He's got a nice hole field, but watch the orange shirts come over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and everybody's starting to get excited. That spells trouble for Pitt. 3rd down and long. Now Pete Gonzalez has got to prove that he's a quarterback that can lead Pitt to something by making a big play in this series right here.
Coach, they've had some great linebackers at Miami. Ray Lewis, Michael Barrow, Jesse Armstead, Darren Smith, and now Quan Russell. What they all shared, quickness, speed, and football instincts. 3rd and 10. Gonzalez in trouble, incomplete. And he went down in a heap. Kennard Lang with the hit as Gonzalez threw the football. Pitt will have to punt, and we'll send it back to John Sanders.
We take you to Alumni Stadium. Boston College trying to come back against Navy. Matt Hasselback will hang in the pocket, and finally hit Dennis Harding for an Eagle touchdown. They went for 2, didn't get it. They trail by 5, 14-9 right now. Navy leading BC. Back to the bowl.
Thanks, John. It's a big game for Dan Henning's Eagles at home. And Cochran, heavy rush coming at him. And a beautiful spiraling punt over the head of Penn. Feels it at the 4. And Penn down at the 23. An 18-yard return of a 66-yard punt. Nate Cochran showing you why he is one of the nation's most feared punters.
I think that Nate Cochran did a great job of moving the football field downfield. And again, Magic Ben went all the way back to the 4, picked it up and got it all the way back out to the 24-yard line. Good play on both teams, but at least they've got a long way to go. Now Pitt defense has got to toughen up.
And for the first time this afternoon, Darryl McMillan, Miami's second tailback in their 1-2 punch in the game. This is McMillan, and he can come right at you. First down. Pickup of 13 for the sophomore Darryl McMillan, who will ricochet through a defense. A very strong 5'8" sophomore out of Bradenton.
Eric, I think this is the first play that Darryl's carried all year. He makes a statement right away with the first down move and the change on the first football play there is. Here he moves out to the outside. And the defensive back over there makes the play.
Jimmy Williams, the free safety, brought down McMillan, but a 13-yard pickup. First time he touches the football this afternoon. 4.5 minutes left, second quarter, 14-0 Hurricanes. McMillan, right up the middle. Another 10 yards for Darryl McMillan up to the 48-yard line. Chuck Brown the corner, Jimmy Williams the safety. But McMillan, a hard-nosed runner. How about the 1-2 punch for Miami?
Well, 11-yard gain, 9-yard gain, 20 yards in 2 plays isn't bad the way he comes in. And you had Danielle sitting on the sideline taking a break after a 14-0 lead. That's when you've got a football team. That's how you get to be in the top 10. And Miami's there.
While Ferguson was sitting out a 2-game suspension, McMillan rushed for 119 yards at Memphis, had 156 yards in the game here at home against the Citadel. 2nd and 1. Clement going to give it to McMillan again. Second effort burst in the Pitt territory. First down Miami as they move to the Pitt 47-yard line. And coming up at halftime, John Sanders will take you around the country with scores and highlights, and also take a look at Quarterback U, the University of Miami, plus around the Big East. And coach, a big game in your town, Syracuse, New York, at the Dome later this afternoon. Syracuse and Virginia Tech, huge for the Orange.
I think it's a 3:30 start up there, and of course everybody in the Big East will be really watching that one close. Right now we've got a wonderful game going on here.
On 1st and 10, McMillan with the hurdling move to get back to the line of scrimmage. 4 carries, 29 yards so far for Darryl McMillan. And down and injured for Pitt, their right side defensive end, Maurice Harris.
Maurice made a real couple of great plays early. Sure, he's getting tired right now, but I think he got hit just a little bit in the head as he tried to submarine and take everything on there, which caused Darryl to have to leap up over the top.
Some scores.
Well, we've seen some deep teams in the Big East. Virginia Tech with Ken Oxendine and the freshman Chiron Stith. West Virginia with some good running backs. But Coach, how about the combination that Butch Davis can field with Danielle Ferguson, his breakaway back, and Darryl McMillan? 2 very talented running backs, both with differing styles that complement one another. We talked to Butch Davis about both Ferguson and McMillan.
Daniel is a slasher, explosive, has excellent speed. Joe McMillan is a punishing guy that just absolutely explodes into holes. Certainly one of the objectives throughout the rest of the season is to try to get both of these guys in the game at the same time. I think that they can complement each other, and it'll give us the opportunity to have a really fresh, talented tailback in the game at all times.
He certainly has got outstanding talent. I think in the Big East, there's no doubt that Miami has the players, and they have the coach to put a program in. Butch Davis and his staff have done a tremendous job, and that's the Pitts. It's going to elevate everybody. Congratulations to the Miami Hurricanes, the way they play.
Clement stands in the pocket. His tight end, Mondreal Fulcher, never looked back for the football. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Canes with 2:40 to go in the second quarter. 14-0 Hurricanes, if you're just joining us. An 8-yard run by Danielle Ferguson on Miami's first drive, and a 19-yard touchdown hookup from Ryan Clement to Tony Gator on their last drive.
I think Kenny Koenig coming in from the middle linebacker and getting on that number 2 receiver made it an awful tough place for Ryan to put it in. It's an excellent defensive play, as well as I don't think it was a bad throw as much as it was an excellent defensive play by Kenny.
So far, Clement 7 of 13, 102 yards. He will go to the air again. And he has his man, Jermaine Chambers, right at the 38-yard line. Should be good enough for the first down. Curtis Anderson there in coverage, but Jermaine Chambers, the senior out of Homestead, Florida, good hands and a well-run pattern.
Well, he got just enough distance for the first down and moved the chains, and Ryan delivered it. One of the things you have to be impressed with Ryan Clement, the quarterback, is the velocity and the accuracy he has. That's why on the last pass, I gave credit to Kenny Koenig so much, because I think he was throwing it where he had to throw it to keep it away from an interception.
Another first down for Ryan Clement and Miami. Deep drop, deep throw, another grab for Jermaine Chambers. Spun down at the 22 by Curtis Anderson. Add 18 more yards to the total of Miami. Clement finding the man they call E.T., Jermaine Chambers.
Here's a classic drag curl. One receiver going out, the other one coming in. Delivers it right on the money. And now the hit. At least they're there to make the hit. I thought the ball was coming out of his hand, but he kept it right in there. Tremendous defensive play by Curtis Anderson.
Miami coaches tell us that Chambers is like a coach on the field. They say he's self-bent because he's such a perfectionist. Darryl McMillan cut down by Roderick Humphrey back at the 24-yard line. He'll lose 2. Good play by the linebacker out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Again, you hear Roderick Humphrey all day long. He's making the plays, but Darryl here hesitates a little bit, and you can't hesitate against a good football team. You see the pursuit coming by Pitt. They've recovered themselves. They had just one bad defensive series, the last one. But of course, Miami's ahead now, 14-0.
And Miami takes timeout with 1:43 left. Here in the second quarter, Ryan Clements, Hurricanes leading 14-0. Tell you what they like most about Clement. He wins. This is his 12th career start. He has a 10-1 record as the Hurricanes starting quarterback. The lone loss in his very first start last October at Florida State. But this is a guy that has grown into the position, Coach.
Well, what I like about him is that he listens to the coaches, and he's got the tremendous accuracy with the throw, puts it where the coaches want him to put it, and that's why they win. And that's why he's the quarterback. He's paying attention, understands what's going on, does a lot of film work, and to his credit, he moves his football field down the field. Now, Pitt's answer right now is to keep them out of the end zone. And the offense for Pitt has got to do a little bit more because the Miami defense is on the field, and this hot weather is really taxing on them.
Interesting, you mentioned Clement studying film. He's watched a lot of film of Dallas Cowboys quarterback Troy Aikman, who runs the same offense as Miami and runs it to perfection. And Clement trying to model himself after Troy Aikman. 2nd and 12. Gator takes the catch into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Tony Gator with his second touchdown catch of the quarter.
Again, I think that tremendous concentration by the wide receivers to hang on to this football. Tremendous play by the quarterback, get the ball in there, and runs it right in. And all I'm saying to you right now is that excellent offense, pretty doggone good defense when you try to make that catch.
And Andy Crossland's point after right through there. A 21-0 lead for 10th-ranked Miami, and Ryan Clement dialing mostly right numbers here in the first half. 2 in a row to Tony Gator, that one covering 24 yards. Ryan Clement, a couple of touchdown throws this afternoon. That gives him 8 on the year. He had 7 touchdown throws all of last season. And when the day began, Clement was 4th in the country in passing efficiency. Coach come in completing 70% of his throws.
He's getting the protection. The receivers are fast. They know what they're doing. Well coached, well disciplined, and he's going to increase on his passing efficiency today. He's 21-0 here at halftime. The last 2 series, they've done an outstanding job on offense, and it appears that Pitt is tiring right now. They need a break, and halftime is coming up. The offense has got to keep the ball.
Well, Pitt wilting under the heat of this noon sun here in Miami and the duress of Miami's high-octane offense. All 3 of their touchdown drives have covered 70 yards or more. That drive, 9 plays, 76 yards, and they are going after Curtis Anderson. And how can you blame Miami? Anderson, the starting wide receiver for Pitt, stepping into that patchwork defensive secondary that has been injury tattered.
Yeah, but Curtis almost made the interception. He went for it. It wasn't a bad play on that thing. I think you've got to understand is that Pitt, what I like about them, they haven't given up. With that tremendous beating they got, they're still hanging in there playing hard.
And Hank Poteet continues to impress on his returns. A 23-yard kick return that time for Poteet. Minute 28 left in the first half. A 21-0 score on the board for Miami. And we want to remind you to stay with us at halftime with John Sanders back at the Big East studio. Scores and highlights from everywhere around the country. And a nice feature on quarterback U and Ryan Clements. Plus, John will get you ready for that Virginia Tech-Syracuse matchup up at the Carrier Dome later this afternoon. And a West Virginia-Maryland game. West Virginia trying to stay unbeaten. They will take on the Terps at 6 tonight. Gonzalez is throwing it, and it's pass incomplete, intended for LaFane Williams, who took a lick from Tony Coley right at the 30-yard line.
You know, the West Virginia game that you just mentioned is interesting. How West Virginia and Coach Nealon is people who have beaten him last year. He's come back and beaten East Carolina. He's come back and beat other people. Maryland beat him last year. It's at 6 o'clock tonight in College Park, so it's going to be interesting how they handle that one.
Well, last week, West Virginia went to Purdue and avenged a loss from a year ago. Tonight, they'll try to do the same thing. How about that Hurricane defense? Only one offensive touchdown allowed in 16 quarters. This is LaFane Williams. The freshman rips away from one man. Nice looking run. He spins to the Miami 45-yard line. Marcus Wimberly, the free safety, stopped Williams. A 21-yard gain for the freshman.
Shotgun draw, good call in the 2-minute offense. And again, the freshman really moved the football down the field. Nice moves. Very strong, very powerful. Breaks the tackle there with good speed. Runs away from people. Gets the spin. And he's all the way down to the 45-yard line.
That was Pitt's 4th first down pickup of the half. And on first down, Gonzalez not there for Williams. Threw it wide and incomplete. So that'll be 2nd and 10 with 1:05 left in the second quarter. How good is Miami's defense? Among the very best. Allowing just over 4 points a game so far.
Well, you know, you're giving up 13 points, I believe, as the season. Here they are into their 4th football game. Not giving up very, very many points today either. There was a very bad pass by Pete Gonzalez on the last one, overthrew the fullback on the play.
Out of the shotgun, low snap on 2nd and 10. As time, intercepted. Earl Little stepped in front of it and picked it off at the 34-yard line. Earl Little's 15th consecutive start and his first interception of his senior year.
But, you know, when things go bad, they go bad. Again, it was a bad snap. Caused Pete have to go down to the ground after the thing. Didn't have time to look it over and hurried the throw and put the ball in there and just didn't put enough on it. And the defensive back from Earl Little came into the play and made the great play on it.
Earl Little, who has been consumed by grief. His roommate, Marlon Barnes, tragically murdered last April.
What a tough adjustment, huh? Tough.
It brought this Miami team closer together, did that tragedy, but has taken its toll, especially on Earl Little. Not only was he Marlon Barnes' roommate, but they were very, very close friends.
The tough part about it was, I guess he's the one that found them. That's how you get over that is unbelievable.
Substitution infraction against the offense. 5 yards. First down.
Of course, Coach, Miami has weathered many a storm on and off the field. They, too, a resilient group, strength from within. And Butch Davis, boy, he's had so much to handle, but he's gotten so many good things done in a very short amount of time.
He's a wonderful leader and a wonderful person, and the young men at Miami have responded to the way the tough pass rusher is.
Looks like Miami wants a little more, but Danielle Ferguson thought about running before he caught it. That'll be 2nd and 15 with under a minute left in the second quarter. The Hurricanes started slowly today, led 7-0 after 1, but they've tacked on 2 Tony Gator touchdowns here in the second quarter. Matter of fact, for Gator, a 5th-year senior, his first career 2-touchdown game.
Charge right now for the Pitt defense to help Pete Gonzalez, who made the mistake, keep them out of a field goal range, keep them out of a touchdown range. Play a prevent defense with 54 seconds to go in the ball.
Ryan Clement, 10 of 17, 152 yards. Finds Ferguson, and Danielle heads upfield to the 43-yard line. Pickup of 14 yards. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 1 as the clock winds down toward halftime.
Cornett and Humphrey make the tackle. 3rd down and 2.
3rd and 2. Clement steps up, marker down. Tony Gator at the 40. And brought down right there. Boy, Ryan Clement, does he show you poise standing in that pocket, locating open men?
Now remember, in college football, the clock stops whenever you have a first down made, so that helps you in your 2-minute offense. Plus, Pitt has a man down on the ground right now, and I think that it's Chuck Brown, a defensive back, but I don't. The clock has stopped. People are in there watching him right now, and these kind of things all of us hate.
Now, this is something Pittsburgh absolutely could not afford. They have already lost 6 defensive backs since last January.
Illegal formation, 6 men on the line of scrimmage, 5-yard penalty, repeat third down.
We told you earlier today, Johnny Majors has really had to patchwork up his secondary. Today starting a wide receiver, Curtis Anderson, as a corner, and now he loses another one of his defensive backs, and they want to stay as healthy as they can. They got a huge game next week against Temple. That's like a Super Bowl for both those clubs.
I think that, I think Miami has an off week, don't they, Eric? Now, the nice thing about it was Brown is getting up, going off the field, but watch the contact mode here, and he's going to be running right into his own player right here. I think that what I like to see, when I'm watching those things, if I see the head move and the legs move, I feel better already. And a big play for Pitt is that ball goes all the way back to the 37-yard line, takes him out of a one-play field goal position. With 17 seconds to go, Pitt's mode right now, no field goal, no touchdown.
Yeah, looking at Johnny Majors, who took over a dormant program at Iowa State in 1968, led them to their first 2 bowl games. Came to Pittsburgh in '76, won a national championship there, twice National Coach of the Year. Went to his alma mater, Tennessee, 12 bowl games in 16 years. But in his 4 years back at Pitt, he has won just 9 and lost 28.
Well, in all fairness to John, they brought him back there to resurrect it. It wasn't in sweet shape when he got it there. The problem right now is here we are in 1996, and they've got to be showing a little bit more improvement today.
3rd and 7. Ferguson on the draw has the first down. Danielle Ferguson racking up some very impressive first-half numbers. Ferguson had the touchdown run in the first quarter. He picks up 15 yards there. And there you see what Johnny Majors was able to accomplish in the 70s and how tough it's been in the 90s.
It's a whole new rules all over the NCAA in terms of how many scholarships you can have, how many you can give, and the impact of the player. It's a long, slow, arduous progress to bring somebody back right now.
Coach, the Panthers have had just 1 winning season in the last 6 years, and it is more than a football team in transition. It's an athletic department in transition. Their AD, Oval James, on the way out. The administration with many changes, so they've got to get a lot of things settled, but they feel good about 2 things. The freshman class they have recruited, they have 20 freshmen, 14 of which are already playing. And they also just put in a new $5 million football facility, new locker room, training facility, weight room. So they feel they're on the right track, but need another few classes to get this thing going.
Well, they're not on the right track when they allow a man like Oval James to leave, because he's one of the outstanding athletic directors in the country, and he's done a great job there at Pitt, bringing everything back to goal and knowing exactly where they're going. They've got some problems there at Pitt.
Miami's going to take a shot at this thing with 11 seconds left in the half. Ball thrown out of bounds. Magic Benton and the strong safety Curtis McGee the closest to it.
Has another one of those down plays down the football field. One more shot and the halftime is here. 5 seconds to go.
Butch Davis has the Hurricanes at number 10, the 3-0 start. Virginia Tech also at 3-0, number 18. Virginia Tech at Syracuse. They'll look to continue the nation's longest winning streak. And West Virginia hoping to be 5-0 by night's end.
Big East is really in play this weekend, and we'll know a lot more about how we stand about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock tonight.
Danielle Ferguson. Somebody had a foot. Ferguson gets a few yards. It was Chris Dilba holding on for dear life as the first half comes to a close. Impressive for deep and talented Miami. Butch Davis, his team started slowly today, but a pair of Tony Gator touchdown catches from Ryan Clement as the 10th-ranked Hurricanes comfortably in front by 3 touchdowns halfway through at the Orange Bowl. I'm Eric Reed along with Dick McPherson. We send you now to our Big East studios and John Sanders.
All right, Eric.
Discover Card, proud partner of the Smithsonian's 150th anniversary. And Coach, what numbers jump out at you?
The numbers that jump out at me is the number of first downs University of Miami have versus Pitt. Pitt's got to keep the ball just a little bit longer, try to get some chain, move the chains, get some first downs. That's the difference in the game. But I personally am pleased and surprised at how well Pitt's playing against the Miami Hurricanes.
16 first downs to 4 for Miami. Individual numbers, Danielle Ferguson with 88 yards rushing, 16 carries. Ryan Clement, 11 of 19, 165 yards. And Tony Gator, 3 catches, 2 of them for touchdowns. Well, Miami this afternoon won the toss initially and deferred, so they get the second half kickoff.
Here's where we set the tone. The defense is rested for Pitt. Can they keep Miami out of the end zone in this first drive? They started all with a great kick out of the end zone almost. Ball will come out to the 20.
And coach, the Orange Bowl, beautiful natural grass surface, and they keep it mowed close. This is a fast track for a team that for years has been based on speed.
Well, you know, anybody wants to play on an outstanding football field, come on down here to Miami. The Pitt kids saying yesterday on the football field, they were shocked at how bad Ohio State's football field was, and this was just like a carpet. Got them kind of excited to play. This is big-time football. Everybody dreams of coming to the Orange Bowl to play.
Miami is 26-2, lifetime in the Big East, and they've never been beaten in the league here at home, 14-0. And we get penalty markers against Miami as they step to the line of scrimmage. We're glad to have you with us as you watch your Big East game of the week. Eric Reed with Dick McPherson. We will be in the air-conditioned Carrier Dome next
Prior
Saturday.
to the snap, false start on the offense. First down.
Next weekend, Syracuse hosting Rutgers on your Big East Conference game of the week. Miami will take the week off and then get set for the Florida State game here at the Orange Bowl on October 5th. Check it October 12th. On first down, Clement hits the screen to Ferguson. Nice stutter step. And Danielle bounces up to the 25-yard line. A 10-yard gain on the play. The stop made by the linebacker Roderick Humphreys. So Danielle Ferguson showing you a bit of everything. His blocking, his running, his ability to catch the football as well.
Well, again, we talked to the Pitt coaches, and they worked all week on proper pursuit angles and tackling. Danielle Ferguson does a great job, and you've got to balance up and take the proper pursuit angle, and they were allowed to move the football like that without it.
Last year, Pittsburgh held Ferguson to a season low, 45 yards rushing. He's nearing 100 already today. On 2nd and 5, Ferguson won't get anything going that time. Big number 92, Marlon Young, a sophomore out of Miami High School, hopping on the back of Danielle Ferguson. For South Florida, one of the best recruiting areas in football in America. And you see South Floridians dotted on every roster in the land. And Miami has built its team with young men from South Florida, especially right here in Dade County.
It was a good combination defense with Jason closing the hole down and Mike coming from the inside and making a tackle before Danielle could get moving.
Daphnis in motion on 3rd and 6. Clement fires downfield, incomplete. Intended for Magic Benton. Covered well by Curtis Anderson. And there is a penalty marker down. And it's back at the 25-yard line.
From the outside, so one of the outside officials, and so I think somebody had to be offside there. And the official signals offside Miami, and John Major signals
motion
no ticket.
On the offense, decline, 4th down.
Now again, that's a big play for a tone setter in the half. It made Miami punt the ball in that first possession. And now the offense from Pitt has got to accept the challenge with good field position and get the ball in the end zone and start making this a football game.
Andy Crossland, the redshirt freshman out of Dallas, will punt it toward John Jenkins. So Miami does nothing with its first possession of the 3rd quarter. Jenkins interfered with by Trent Jones at the 40-yard line.
Good call. He's got to let him catch the ball. He did not see what was happening, but there's a penalty against Miami, and it's going to be a guaranteed possession by Pitt.
Well, this is another opportunity for the Panthers to get something positive going offensively. They will start with excellent field position, their first drive of the 3rd quarter.
Now again, coming right over to make the catch.
By the kicking team, the 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
They called that fair catch interference. I did not see Jenkins raise the arm, but
he didn't. No, you've got to give the receiving team a chance to catch the ball, Eric. And he's running right over to catch it, and number 6 is in the way, and that's what happens.
Well, look at the start now for Pittsburgh. They'll tee it up at the Miami 40-yard line. Their best start of a drive today. Pittsburgh had just 4 first downs in the first half. Of course, they had just 4 first downs a week ago in their 72-0 setback at Ohio State. Pete Gonzalez making his 3rd career start, a young man from Miami, Florida's Coral Park High School. He brings maturity, a little less athleticism than original starter Matt Lytle. Not prone to the big mistake, although he did throw an interception late in the second quarter. That's a 21-0 lead for Miami. The afternoon moves along here at the Orange Bowl. The Canes by 3 touchdowns. Welcome back to the Orange Bowl in Miami. Eric Reed along with the coach, Dick McPherson. We've enjoyed the afternoon. Hope you have as well. Miami in front, 21-0. But Pitt starting out at the 40-yard line in Hurricane territory, and that's an interesting story. Number 1, Darnell D.J. Jenkins. He led Shenley High School in Pittsburgh to its first City League championship since 1950. And while they haven't given up on him playing quarterback at Pitt, right now they're using him as an all-purpose player and their 3rd tight end. On deep for Holford, who's out there and just knocked away. Dwayne Starks, a standout corner, made a standout play.
You thought it was a touchdown for sure. Dwayne comes right in the picture. Yesterday afternoon, we were talking to Butch Davis about him. He just kind of likes Dwayne Starks the way he went after things. Look at the confidence. It looks like a touchdown. Reaches in and takes it right away. Great play all around. Good throw, good route. Outstanding play by Dwayne Starks.
America, meet Dwayne Starks, the best defensive back you have not heard of. He is a junior college transfer out of Holmes JC in Mississippi, but a native of Miami Beach, a first-year starter, and they love him here in Miami. Gonzalez missed on the screen. Billy West took his eye off it, covered like a blanket from Twan Russell. Let's go back to our Big East studio. What's up, John Sanders?
All right, Eric, we've got an update from the Big Ten, Northwestern and Indiana. The Wildcats on the move here as Steve Schnurr hits Dwayne Bates. Bates will make the move, squeezes his way right on in for the touchdown. They had been down by 10. That cuts it to 3. Right now, Indiana is leading 17-14. Back we go to the Orange Bowl. Eric?
It has been a struggle for Pete Gonzalez, 3 for 12 throwing the football. And the Hurricanes doing a very solid job defending Billy West. He's done very little so far today.
Well, they haven't really used him that much. But to throw to him a couple of times.
Here's LaFane Williams on 3rd and 10. He sweeps it to the 32-yard line, an 8-yard gain, and that will bring up a 4th down and 2 to go.
Now that's what you call a quick Statue of Liberty. Everybody will say, what happened to the Statue of Liberty play? Here's where you see it. Quarterback catches the ball from a direct snap, takes it, turns it around. Here comes the wide receiver, and the play is made by Twain Russell and Risley. Pitt weren't fooled, but an excellent call by Ken Karcher. Well executed play.
Oh, very little decision
4th down,
for here.
4th down.
Johnny Majors knows he has nothing to lose.
Absolutely.
Chris Schneider, LaFane Williams in the eye set.
They're going to spread him out a little bit.
Jenkins, the slot man, Hofert wide to the right, and on 4th and 2, they're going to throw and not get it. Intended for Jake Hofert. Heat put on by number 97, Michael Lawson. So on 4th and 2, the Hurricane defense holds.
And Michael, what he did there was hit the ball as it was going downfield. That's the best defense there is. I thought Michael tipped the thing as it was going in there, but let's take a look at it. Here comes the pressure. Here comes the pressure all the way. I think you see that a linebacker was the one that tipped it. Michael put the pressure on him.
I think it was James Burgess, the middle linebacker, that got a hand on it.
That end zone shot did a nice job on it.
Ryan Clement has it first and 10, his own 32. Ryan wants to throw, has his fullback, Carlo Joseph, who had a big gainer in the first half on a throw just like that.
Same football play.
And he picks up 14 yards and a Hurricane first down. Roderick Humphrey stopping Carlo Joseph. One linebacker stopping another former linebacker. By the way, Ernest Coakley, the outside backer for Pittsburgh, out of the game with an injured right knee.
So what we have to have Pitt do right here is hold in there, stop the Miami Hurricanes, and get this ball game going the way it should be. They're really working hard at it. This is something we need here right now.
Danielle Ferguson right up the middle. Lots of room for dashing Danielle. Finally pulled down at the 22-yard line by the free safety, Seth Hornack. Ferguson over 100 yards with that 32-yard gain.
I think that when we opened the show, we talked about the great Danielle Ferguson, and he certainly is having a wonderful afternoon against the Pitt Panthers here this afternoon. It's just great running, breaking to the outside, and now the ball is on the 22-yard line.
Ferguson having another big-time day. 18 carries, 117 yards for Danielle, a native Miami. Again, it's Ferguson. Running right, penalty marker down, Roderick Humphrey stopping Ferguson for no gain. Back to our Big East studio, and John.
All right, Eric, let's find out about Nebraska and Colorado State. This time it's the Rams looking to punch one in. Their quarterback is Moses Marino. Little play action fake, sets, and watch the play by Jeff Turner in between two defenders for a Colorado State touchdown. The score right now, Nebraska has answered that. It's 21-6 Huskers. Let's go back to Miami where the Canes lead it 21-0. Eric?
Canes have already had 3 touchdown drives of 70 yards or better, and this has been a pretty march. 12 minutes left in the third quarter on a delightful but warm afternoon here at the Orange Bowl. Ryan Clement looking left, has a man. Nick Williams turns the corner, rumbles in. Touchdown, Miami.
Excellent execution by Ryan and the fullback. Fullback motion just a little bit to the left side, to the strong side, split the play. And Ryan hit him right in the seam, and then he took it over and ran into the end zone. A great run after the catch.
A 17-yard touchdown of a 270-pound fullback, Nick Williams, with his first career touchdown at Miami. For Ryan Clement, a 3-touchdown game. 4 very impressive drives this afternoon for 10th-ranked Miami. This one starting to play like the Hurricanes thought it would. 28-0 Miami. That was a 68-yard drive in 3 plays. By Ryan Clement and the Miami Hurricane offense coach.
Well, we've got an end zone on the touchdown pass, and John Majors is protesting violently here, and see what you have is a combination pick, but it was a very good pick. Even though it was a pick play, no contact was made. They screened off the man, and that made the play well executed on the offense.
Nick Williams, big young fella, the Farmington Hills, Michigan.
They just keep coming, don't they? Whoever the fullback is, whoever the wide receiver is, the Miami Hurricanes are alive and well in 1996, top 10 for sure.
Now the Big East preseason poll, the Hurricanes picked to finish second behind Syracuse. The Orange off to an 0-2 start. Meanwhile, Miami hoping to go to 4-0. Hank Poteet, boy, he's been trouble for Miami on the special teams. Run out by Chris Gibson, but Poteet advances it to the 28-yard line. And Coach Hank Poteet, a freshman from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, really getting after it on those returns.
You know, one of the things that impresses me, have you noticed when you talk about Gibson, you talk about Starks, all these fellas are playing special teams. This is why they're so good on special teams. They play all the top players. But Hank Poteet, just like you said, is exciting here this afternoon. He's kept these people in the game from an excitement standpoint.
Pete Gonzalez has gone pretty much all the way for Pitt at quarterback. This is Billy West straight ahead. Oh my! Stopped in his tracks by the free safety Marcus Wimberly. Wimberly, a former wide receiver, Well, he's been a big surprise for Miami, winning the job as their starting free safety this year.
All I'll say to Marcus, I didn't know that wide receivers hit this way. No wonder they moved him over.
Ouch.
That's a rack. But again, Billy West, the civil engineering, you know, he had a little pie squire throws on that football play, but standing right in there ready to take a play. Just a good football play, both sides. Nice hit, Marcus.
Got a face full of Marcus Wimberly, room service, and Espn. Dennis Scott that time got West after a short gain of about 3 to the 35-yard line. Now, that touchdown a moment ago by Nick Williams, not only his first career touchdown at Miami, his first career pass reception at Miami. Not a bad way to get it going.
Well, you can see how excited he was through the whole process, but went in motion just a little bit, ran the pick play to the outside, got the ball in the end zone, legal all the way, well executed.
Everywhere we go, the coaching staffs tell us we got to get the ball to our fullbacks more. On third and short, West tripped up line of scrimmage by Tony Coley, and that will probably be shy of a first down.
When
Tony Coley.
When you're talking about short yardage, watch the penetration by the Miami front. Billy's got nowhere to go, trying to leap over it, but they've moved the line of scrimmage all the way back in his backfield. Even though he leaped even back to the original line of scrimmage. Great defensive play. The offensive line, the Pitt have got to move him out of there so a great back like Billy West can make the first down.
Looks like we may see Scott Covington when the Hurricanes go back to offense. Nate Cochran averaging nearly 51 yards a punt so far today. Magic Benton angling to his right on the run from the 20. Picks up about 14 yards on the punt return. There is a penalty marker down. 47-yard punt. Dozen yards on the return for the Magic Man. And that, not a nickname. That's his given first name.
Well, he certainly performed some magic in 1996, and there was no magic in the Pitt game from last year with Magic Benton. He kept Pitt in the football game. You can see what a year of maturity does for him.
On the return, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Magic Benton has made some big plays. We talked about his ability to go the route every time he touches it. 4 of his 6 career touchdowns have been over 40 yards. The average distance of his 6 scores, 49 yards. And we do see the backup, Scott Covington, a sophomore from Laguna Niguel, California. Brian Clements' numbers on the day, 14 of 23, 208 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a good time for the Hurricanes to get this talented quarterback some work.
Yes, smart coaching, 28-0, ball to the 15. I wouldn't be surprised to see one going downtown during this drive and got a long way to go.
Here's the pitch to Darryl McMillan. Hit line of scrimmage and smoked by Phil Clark. The sophomore out of Miami hit him high and stopped that play.
Now, again, this is how you play defense each and every down. Everybody containing the football play. He's turning the thing into Phil Clark, and he's right there to take everybody on. Darryl can't stutter in the hole like that. He stuttered twice here today, and that's not usually his style. He takes what's there. He can't be looking around with the pursuit that any good Division 1A football team has.
Phil Clark from Miami, looking to impress friends here at the Orange Bowl. Covington changed his mind, finds Tony Gator, his 4th catch, and look out, nobody gonna get Gator. Yards, his 4th catch, his 3rd touchdown today.
Chuck Brown, defensive back, went up to make the play. Just slipped just as he got there to make the tackle. He pivoted to the outside. You'll see the play right here from here.
Well, nobody going to catch Gator, a 4-3 man in the 40.
Especially Chuck can't really run the way he normally runs. He's got that bad quad. He played beside it. Just stepped up to the inside, and you can see him limping as he's going down the field. A great football play by Tony Gator. This is 3 touchdowns for him today, isn't it?
Yes, it is. He had a touchdown last game against Rutgers, but he has been huge today.
He's playing so well they might move him to defensive back and get him over there, hit somebody.
Tony Gator, 19, 24, and now 85 yards on the receiving end of touchdown passes. So Scott Covington gets Miami on the board. 2 plays, 85 yards, 35-0, 10th ranked Miami. afternoon. Tony Gator is having, the senior out of Miami's Killian High School. 4 catches, 135 yards, 3 touchdowns. Today's Big East Conference Game of the Week, a copyrighted telecast of Creative Sports Incorporated. Any use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this broadcast without the express prior written consent of Creative Sports is prohibited. How deep is Miami?
Well, another thing about being deep, they're sending the word all over the Big East Conference. Miami's alive and well. September the 12th, they play Rutgers. And now one game between October the 12th when they play Florida State. Are they going to be rested when they play a team that they might be a little bit interested in out of another conference? So they're not only a good team, but they're going to be tremendously well rested. They go into the stretch drive with probably a 4-0 record, 5-0 record.
Miami looking to go to 4-0 for the first time since '93 when Dennis Erickson was the coach here in Coral Gables. Hank Poteet bobbles it. On the pickup at the 11, he is dropped in his tracks. A good coverage by Miami. Jeff Popovich, a walk-on wide receiver, making the hit on special teams.
Well, the only thing that stopped Hank was himself. And I think, look at what's happening here from an offensive standpoint. The quarterback just hasn't been productive moving the football down the field. You know, I think Butch does a great thing, coming in the ball game, and he moves it right down the football field with a touchdown pass. Just a happy camp right here, and a struggling Pitt Panther team. Long afternoon for them. 2 in a row.
Pete Gonzalez on first down, rolling out of trouble, and tripped up by James Burgess, the middle linebacker. Of course, Burgess prides himself on being a run stopper. He idolizes former middle linebacker of the Bears, Mike Singletary. And Coach Burgess told me something interesting. He said, I never run around an offensive lineman. I run through offensive linemen.
He runs through ball carriers, too.
Here's a look at the Miami defense, how they rank, and it's pretty impressive.
I think when you play defense like that, you're bound to have a winning football program. Defense wins the games, and they're showing it here today.
Mike Duck on 2nd and 10, and he ducks into the 21-yard line. A 4-yard gain. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. Dennis Scott, a strong safety on the hit. Jeff Taylor into the game at outside linebacker. Rod Mack in the middle. Miami substituting liberally. So you've got to be impressed with the Hurricanes. They will go to 27-2 lifetime against Big East competition.
Well, I think it's 35-0, but Pitt's got to make a statement here and keep the ball going to give them encouragement for the rest of the year in that Big East play.
On 3rd and 3, this is the fullback Schneider. He runs through Eugene Ridgely and gains the first down for Pittsburgh. Just the 5th first down today for the Panthers.
Chris Snyder, you mentioned earlier that the Pittsburgh coaches are so pleased with him developing as a fullback, and blocks well, runs the ball inside well, and is able to catch the football. That's a fullback in the 90s. And Chris is really coming in. He's only a sophomore.
Schneider, a young man, rushed for 74 high school touchdowns in Trafford, Pennsylvania. In fact, he teamed with Pitt's prospect, freshman quarterback Tony Zimmerman, who is waiting for his turn. Gonzalez with heat overthrows his tight end John Jones, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Back to our Big East studios and John Sanders.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Let's update things from Chestnut Hill Alumni Stadium. It's Navy on the move, and their first possession of the second half into the end zone is Omar Nelson for the TD. But BC has come right back to answer that touchdown. It's 29-22 there. Back to Miami. Eric?
They got a shootout going in Chestnut Hill, a one-sided shootout here at the Orange Bowl today.
Amazing how the service academies, the Navy, the Army, and the Air Force have come back in major college football. We like to see it. A great bunch of young men.
Pete Gonzalez winds up, has his man, Jake Hofer. He picks up the first down and is stopped by Jeff Taylor at the Miami 49-yard line.
Now, again, it looks like the turf is getting just a little slippery. The defensive back has fallen, but the difference between Miami and Pittsburgh, number 22 gets right over there to make the play. There's a slip. Now he's breaking clean and coming. And 22 gets right over there and makes the play.
Dwayne Starks missed the tackle. Jake Hofert picks up 25 yards. Hofert, a transfer from the University of Pacific last January when they dropped their football program. And Hofert started today with Curtis Anderson moving to the defensive secondary. The backup fullback, Kareem Thompson. He runs into a pack of Miami trouble right at the line of scrimmage. Kenny Holmes, the first man to get there. Holmes, number 90, a first-team All-Big East choice a year ago, and he is really, really good.
I think he had a little help there from Booker Pickett, and I think one of the things that they're practicing and really getting good at is everybody swarming again in the Miami Hurricane defense. And Pitt's moving the ball here.
Second down, 11 to go with 5.5 minutes left in the third. Miami up 35-zip. Gonzalez looking for Mark Butler, makes the catch on both knees right at the 38-yard line. Pickup of a dozen. First down for the Panthers. Johnny Majors, just for morale, I'm sure he'd like to see his offense punch one in.
Well, they're doing the right things to get it in. They're also doing the right thing, keeping the defense off on the bench as they move the football down the field and continually trying to make a game out of it. And what John is saying is that our guys are battling. We just got to find the right combination, and playing people like Ohio State and Miami, West Virginia, toughen you up for the schedule that's going down. It's going to be interesting to see how they do the rest of the year.
By the way, Pete Gonzalez, who has missed 9 of 10 throws in a recent stretch, has hit his last 2. Oh, he finds Chris Schneider, the fullback, despite pressure, and Schneider picks up 8 yards. Jeff Taylor, the backer, brought the fullback down. Nice throw by Gonzalez. He stood in the pocket, took some heavy heat.
You know, he got that thing off, Chris there, and then Jeff came over to make the hit. But you can see they're battling on offense now and trying to make plays.
Chris Schneider on the reception. Pete Gonzalez is hit on his last 3 throws. Second down and 3 for the Panthers. Mike Duck runs right into Mike Lawson. And that will be no gain. Michael Lawson getting help from Kennard Lang. Lawson, the first man to get there, a young man that has gained 60 pounds in the last 2 years.
Now here's Mike Duck trying to run up inside with the football. And you've got, when you see this kind of a hit, you've got to lower yourself. But wisely, he hangs onto the football to allow him a third down possession here. But they closed on the ball.
Mike Lawson, an emerging sophomore defensive tackle. You know, they've locked him in the weight room, but adding 60 pounds. I'm going to tell you what his average lunch menu consists of after this third down and 2. This is the fullback, Schneider. Won't get it. Oh, my. An orange blitz of defense. James Burgess, Dennis Scott, and Earl Little.
And all. Three defensive backs took on that powerful fullback, and look what they do. Do they hit or do they hit? Watch these defensive backs smother them right there. 1, 2, 3. We can't forget James Burgess. I didn't see James coming from the inside. That's where the hit came from. I didn't think the defensive backs would hit that good. Fourth down.
4th down and 2. Coach, I mentioned Michael Lawson's weight-gaining menu to add 60 pounds the last 2 years. His average lunch, a Big Mac, a quarter pounder with cheese, large fries, chicken McNuggets, 2 apple pies, and a soda. Want to join him for lunch tomorrow?
I don't want to pay for it. I know that.
4th and 2 for Pittsburgh. Time for Gonzalez, and throws it incomplete. That's a coverage play for the Miami defense. Gonzalez had loads of time and could not find an open man. We see an open man. It's John Sanders in our Big East studio.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. It's the MAC and the Big Ten matched up in East Lansing, and Eastern Michigan is punting. Watch the move here by Derek Mason. Splits the middle, and he is on his way to the races for a Michigan State touchdown. The Spartans right now all over Eastern Michigan. He avoids the last man, dances into the end zone. It is 34-0 there at halftime, 35-0 in Miami as the Canes have the ball again. Eric.
Thanks, John. This has been a typical Miami effort this year, starting slow and get better as the game moves on. This is a Hurricane team that led just 7-0 after 1 quarter. Magic Pen on the receiving end of Scott Covington's first down pass. Hank Poteet, a sure tackle on the elusive sophomore Benton.
Now again, excellent protection for Covington, but the key that this football play, from just holding it to a 5-yard gain, is watch the pursuit late in the game like this by the Pitt Panthers. There's one hit, hold him up, here comes another one. Come on in, come on in, come on. That's the way you stop touchdowns. If they had that on the play before that, when Scott threw the touchdown pass, they would have had the ball about a 5-yard gain also.
Magic leads Miami on the year with 25 catches. So far today, Covington off the bench has hit on both his throws, including the 85-yard touchdown strike to Tony Gator. That's Trent Jones, the third Miami tailback we've seen today. Jones had a 10-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter of Miami's win at Rutgers 2.5 weeks ago.
Backup center is the one that's down.
Yep, that's Ty Wise, a redshirt freshman from Pensacola, Florida.
You know, again, we're talking about taking K.C. Jones out of the game, and now you have no regrets. You're playing your second unit, getting all that experience, and now we hope that Ty gets out of the thing.
See if we can see how Wise was injured. Looked like he rolled right over number 91. And that's DeGems Don. DeGems Don for Pitt, a freshman who hails from North Miami, Florida.
Looks like they're working on his knee. I think it looks more to me like he just gets somebody bang him in the knee with a sharp thing. I think that's what you think you're going to find there. Notice they're not twisting it out. He's going to have a shock and just limp out that way. I hope that's the way it is. You don't like to see knees on anybody in football. He's putting some weight on it. That's an awful good sign they're allowing him to do that. I think you'll find on the rerun that we saw, Eric, is that the defensive man just came across and whipped on him. Got him right in the knee and bent it backwards.
We could have a breaking story here in Miami if Tony Zimmerman does come into the game. They were hoping the redshirt, their fine freshman quarterback who was highly recruited. We may see Zimmerman today. Mike Wainer comes in. He will now be the center for Miami, and there is Zimmerman warming up. He is in the ready mode. 3rd down and 1.
He's ready, but how about Coach Majors? That's the key.
Carlo Joseph upended, and it looks like he will be shy of the first down. There is a penalty flag down. Of course, the fans here at the Orange Bowl wanting the Canes to go for it. Today's attendance close to 33,000.
I think the score is 35-0. Butch Davis knows there's another day for everyone, and what he's doing is making sure he gets a good field position. He's got the win. He doesn't need to take any chances, even though the crowd wants him to.
Miami's athletic director Paul D could not have found a better man for the job than Butch Davis, the longtime assistant coach with Jimmy Johnson at Dallas with the Cowboys.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty. First, 4th down.
Butch also an assistant for Jimmy Johnson here at Miami and at Oklahoma State. He learned his lessons well. Butch Davis about to go 12-3 as the head coach of the Canes. He will be 8-0 here at the Orange Bowl. And Butch told us something very interesting yesterday, something I want to share with you folks about the way he feels concerning his rebuilding efforts at Miami, or reloading efforts. Andy Crossland, a fake punt. And look at Quan Russell. Just about gained the first down. It'll be dependent on the spot. How about the trickery? Butch Davis trying to send a message to Bobby Bowden and the Seminoles, who are next on the schedule 2 weeks from today.
They sent a signal, but I'm not sure it's the one they wanted to send. That's a play that you put it in for practice and kind of a morale booster. It's a fake punt reverse, and it does delay just a little bit.
Pretty fake by Andy Crossland. Finished with the rocket kick. Quan Russell, this man runs a 4.440 as a linebacker, and he does keep the football for the Hurricanes.
I think Curtis McGee was the one that did a nice job by making sure he turned it back inside, not give him the sideline, and made it so they had to measure it for the first down.
A timeout on the field with 24 seconds left in the third quarter, and Miami leading 35-0. Now, Butch Davis in his second year as the Hurricanes head coach. 10 games in a row he's won. And you see how that streak matches up. The best streak, Dennis Erickson, between 90 and 92. But Butch told us something interesting yesterday, Coach. He said losing at Virginia Tech last year might have been the best thing to happen to our program, because until you lose, players don't buy in the change.
Well, I think that's another way of looking at it. It was the great leadership he had, in my opinion, to have that team still believe in him after that loss. He was kind of a little bit of self-effacing on the thing, and they had to bore this thing in. This is a different team in 1996 than it was in 1995. They now know who the boss is, who the coach is, and how he's going to run a program, and I'm totally, completely impressed with the Miami Hurricanes from how they're trying to run a college situation program, and I know that President Foote has got to be happy with the whole thing.
Butch Davis has brought consistency and discipline to a Hurricane program that needed both. First down, Covington winds up, throws a heater complete to Jermaine Chambers. Chambers came into the game with 6 catches. His second today nets him 13 yards. Hank Poteet on the stop, but the Canes moved the chains again. One of the things Butch pointed out to us yesterday, the senior leadership on this Miami team. He had just 8 seniors on the roster a year ago. This season, Miami has 20 upperclassmen. 14 of them are starters.
The thing that I was impressed by Jermaine Chambers on the catch that he just made, he went in the briar patch at it. You could see that he was very proud of making that catch with all that contact coming after him.
10th ranked Miami will remain unblemished through 4 weeks. They're cruising toward the 4-0 start, 35-0 through 3 quarters.
Steve Young here. You know, Crispy Wheaties and Raisins has plump raisins, sweet flakes, and an incredible crunch.
I love the crunch.
Linebackers.
Come crunch time, there's only one. Crispy Wheaties and Raisins.
To see the good college football games you can't get on TV where you live, you'd have to do this. There's a better plan. ESPN Game Plan. The games you want sent right to you. Call your cable operator or DirecTV for ESPN Game Plan. See Fridays USA Today for Saturday's Game Plan.
Weekends. It's a great time to kick back and relax.
Hummer, come on, get back to work.
Or to do some chores around the house. It's also a great time to take care of your personal finances. If you want to refinance your home or get a home equity loan, you can call the Money Store this weekend and get an answer by Tuesday.
Just give them the phone number so you can get back to work.
Call the Money Store at 1-800-LOAN-YES. That's 1-800-LOAN-YES.
McPherson, I'm Eric Reed. Welcome back to the Orange Bowl. Business as usual for 10th ranked Miami. You know, they came into this game 3-0 for the 7th time in the last 9 years. Last time they started off 4-0 back in '93. And in game number 5, they lost to Florida State. And game number 5 this year also will be Florida State 2 weeks from today. First play of the 4th quarter, 1st and 10 for the Canes. And Trent Jones straight ahead picks up 5 yards. Roderick Humphreys brings down Jones.
You know, how many times have we heard the Roderick Humphrey name today, number 51 coming over? But Trent Jones didn't stagger in the hole, got just as what he could out of the play, maximized it, and pushed that thing 6 yards down the football. And impressed with what Miami's doing, playing so many people on a day like this and getting everybody enjoying the act with the score 35-0. This is going to hold them well as the season progresses with all this experience they get.
Scott Covington, he's been nearly flawless since coming off the bench. Overthrew Magic Benton on the sideline. Curtis Anderson running step for step with a speedster Benton. Through 3 quarters, here are the numbers to absorb. 22 first downs to 8. Time of possession surprisingly even, but look at the total yards. It gave up over 600 yards to Ohio State last week, and Miami approaching 500 yards of total offense with a full quarter left. Arlo Joseph and Trent Jones behind the quarterback, Covington. Jones with a hole and a first down. Needed 5 on 3rd down. He picked up 7.
Now, with the injury to Ty Wise, Mike Wayne has moved over to the center and doing a great job. He's played there before. That shows you the diversity of this offense, moving everybody down and moving the chains again.
One of the things that has separated Miami from the pack in the Big East, the quality of their depth. And it is on display today. And when Miami can run the football, you can forget about beating them. On 1st and 10, here comes Trent Jones. Way out. Not going to get him. Touchdown, Miami. 33 yards on the touchdown run for Trent Jones, his 2nd score in as many weeks.
Now again, what Miami did there is put the tight end into the boundary and outnumbered the people, outnumbered the Pitt defense, and just run a real channel. Everybody's there. There's nobody coming from the inside. Trent Jones, with his great speed, takes it right in the end zone. Well-executed play. With an overshift to the wide side, they came narrow side to the tight end. Trent Jones walked it in.
Trent Jones getting the plaudits, the 4th different Hurricane player to score a touchdown this afternoon. And this one has turned in the direction you thought it would. Miami running away from Pittsburgh. 13.5 minutes left in the afternoon. Already 42-0 Hurricanes.
Old junky antique shops. I like. You want me to tell you what my Discover card statement says? Just little things that make a girl sing. I have fish, and I have birds, and I have dogs. Mango. Cecilia Bartoli, and something by Puccini. Floridita Cuban restaurant. Fabulous. Stuck to my diet a little bit. That cash bonus thing at the end.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
Live a little.
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
And beyond. Sunday, October 6th, only on UPN 65.
Update now from the Big East studio. We continue to look in on UMass and Northeastern, and this is the Minuteman's Jamie Holston. He'll break it up the middle, then turns outside, and he is on his way. 40 yards into the end zone for the touchdown that gives UMass the lead in this Yankee Conference game, 21-14. It's all Miami in the Orange Bowl. Let's go back to Dick McPherson and Eric Reed.
UMass banner here at the Orange Bowl. I know you're happy about that
result.
result.
The old Minutemen are coming back. They lost John Calipari, but Mike Hodges alive and well in Amherst.
Now those fans trying to cool off the Panthers. Temperatures around 88, 90 degrees. Tough adjustment for the visitors in September when you head to South Florida to play football.
Well, Miami has a definite home court advantage right here in the Orange Bowl, and look at the record they've had over the years here to prove it. It's just an amazing home field advantage. Good football team. It doesn't let anybody win.
George Gaitan's kick sends Poteet into the end zone, and he will down it. Now, how impressive has Miami's offense been today? Over 500 yards of total offense. 6 touchdowns scored by 4 different players, and the average drive of their 6 touchdowns been 74 yards. How's that for consistency?
Yeah, and what Pitt didn't want to have happen is to have that defense shell shock like this 2 weeks in a row. It's thank goodness they're going back home and they've got a schedule. They're not playing top 10 football teams, where I think the young men will realize they're a little bit more competitive as they play. This is tough duty for them.
The long-awaited debut of true freshman quarterback Tony Zimmerman, who fumbles his first snap and is promptly sacked by Kennard Lang, one of those bookend defensive ends. Lang had 8 sacks as a freshman, just 3 last year. That's his 3rd sack this season.
Now, Zimmerman, his first snap in Division 1A football, and gets twisted around and has to reach out for it and didn't get it over to the west. Just just because he couldn't reach out and get the ball into his belly and fumbled it. Kennard Lang's right there on him, and he's starting out with a minus yardage play. So it's kind of not a very good debut for the young man. Tough situation, down 42-0, but a good chance for him to get some real hard-nosed experience.
He threw for over 2,400 yards as a high school senior last year, and into the fray he comes, and look out, sacked, fumbled, and I think Pitt jumped on it. And again, Kennard Lang, along with Booker Pickett, supplying heavy Miami pressure.
Now you can tell the young man is not ready for this in his first shot out, because you'll see when the pressure comes. When you see the pressure comes, he takes his eyes off of downfield and starts looking around as who's coming after him. Watch him go downfield, then watch him come back and see what's around him here. And what he has to do is put the ball away, take the loss, and then play third down. Lucky to get the ball back. Offensive linemen are the ones that recover it.
Booker Pickett knocked that ball free. Zimmerman's first 2 snaps have lost Pitt 10 yards. 3rd and 20. Play it safe with Billy West. And West straight ahead for 5 yards. So again, we'll see Nate Cochran, the Pitt punter, as Zimmerman gets his feet wet, the first of many drives he will be a part of. Pittsburgh, they celebrate their past, their national championship 20 years ago, but this is a program that cannot get to the future soon enough. They feel good about that freshman class, and right now they are staggering through growing pains.
Thank goodness they've got Nate Cochran, because you mentioned the many long drives that Miami had. That's at least what they've done with that kicking game. He's made them come a long way with it, which should help the defense. It's helped the score because it's a long way coming.
Cochran had to hurry that one up. Benton catches the line drive. Lost the football out of bounds, but Miami will keep it 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. A 37-yard punt, a 6-yard return. And you had a hint that Pitt might be in for a long season when Nate Cochran, their punter, one of their players they brought to Big East Media Day.
There's over 173 different sports in the world. And each has its own special outfit. Running shorts with storm flaps. What's gonna get in there? I don't know. What you need is this. Discus Athletic. Athletic wear made for every sport. Shaq. Oh, Shaq. One brand for 173 different sports. Discus Athletic. One thing to wear.
Well, maybe only 172.
The new Ford Taurus has people talking. Road and Track says the new V6 is a high-strung engine born to gallop. Chris Hayward said,
I'm surprised. A car this comfortable has that much pickup.
Automobile Magazine named Taurus Design of the Year. And Ray Wells agrees.
The new shape is just fantastic. Ford finally got me.
The new Ford Taurus. Now with $1,500 cash back, Taurus starts at just $17,045. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Something big has just arrived at Hardee's.
Hey, boy. Run tell them toast is ready.
Introducing the Texas Toast Bacon Cheeseburger from Hardee's. A quarter pound of sizzling beef, melted cheese, and bacon wedged between thick slabs of grilled Texas toast. Only at Hardee's. What will they think of next? America's favorite crispy curl. So popular, they're 21 points ahead of Dole and Clinton.
Studio update from Boston College, Chestnut Hill. 4th and 10. The Eagles are punting. No, it's a fake. The pass is thrown. Markel Blount catches it. That's first down. Boston College sets up this 12-yard scramble by quarterback Matt Hasselbeck. You'll see him swing around the right side into the end zone for the touchdown. And they are right back in at 29-29 in the 4th quarter. Not that close in Miami. Let's go back to the Orange Bowl. Eric?
Thanks, John. Terrific game up in Chestnut Hill, Mass. We'll be there in October, one of our Big East Conference games of the week.
It's an exciting game with the Naval Academy.
Scott Covington finds Darryl McMillan, and look at him shred through the Pitt defense nearly 10 yards on first down, saddled by Curtis McGee. But Darryl McMillan showing you the form that has Miami people marveling at their fine sophomore runner.
I think it's encouraging as far as I'm concerned. Ty Wise is back in the ball game. We were concerned about his hit, his knee. I think it was right because they brought him out, took his pants off and put the brace on his knee, got him dressed back up and get him back out there again. Good news for everyone.
Second down short for Miami. straight ahead to the fullback. That is Brian Bippen, and he picks up the first down for the Canes. And Miami has really gone to their third and fourth team people right now. And there is Ty Wise. Came off. You see the brace he wears on his right knee.
Nice to see those young men come back like that. I thought that it was a hit. The producers down the stairs said he thought he saw the leg come around, and just exactly what it was.
25 first downs in the game for the Hurricanes, just 8 for the Panthers. And 10 minutes still to play with the Hurricanes in front, 42-0. Strong tackle on McMillan from Phil Clark. Hey, what, Clark lost his starting job this week, but he's playing at home with a vengeance this afternoon.
You know, the way it looks right now, they've got about, just like it said in today's write-up, Butch Davis says it doesn't matter who's starting as long as you're playing a lot. There's no 11 men that are playing game in Division I now. It's they're just swapping it all around, and they've got some outstanding talent all over the place.
Well-balanced day for Butch. His team had 16 days off, but Davis told us yesterday we used that time productively, added a lot to our package. Curtis Anderson holding on for dear life. Jeff Popovich on the reception, a walk-on wide receiver who has been a special team standout for them.
He was battling for the first down, and Pittman was just keeping away from the first down. Now it's third down and about 2 yards. If you notice, Miami's just keeping the ball on the ground, trying to eat the clock up, not embarrass your opponent, just beat him and move on to the next game. They got a nice rest before they play Florida State. This is good work for Pitt in terms of playing a good run defense and seeing all the holes they've got to plug.
On third and short, Darryl McMillan ricochets through for a first down. So you wonder Pitt's mindset as they get set to play Temple next weekend. Again, your storyline, Ryan Clement having another beautiful afternoon for Miami. His 6th career 200-yard game. 3 touchdowns. 2 of them went to Tony Gator. Daniel Ferguson, 117 yards. And Miami with 5 1/4 on the offensive day. But here's Ryan Clement and Daniel Ferguson, 2 of the stars here in South Florida for the Hurricanes.
Stars for Pitt, you've got to go with Curtis McGee and John Jenkins, the safeties. They're all over the football and staying with the program.
Well, on cue, Curtis McGee, number 35, the strong safety, darted into the Miami backfield to stop Darryl McMillan.
Strong safety blitz on, just use it well. The safeties for Pitt are asked to do a lot, and they do a lot. They make a lot of hits.
He's a tough kid. He twisted and bruised his back last week at Ohio State. Missed all of last year with reconstructive knee surgery, but still, McGee, Pitt's leading tackler on the year. There is Curtis. Miami looking to add to this 42-0 lead with 8 minutes to play in the game. Penalty marker down. McMillan not down yet. As he knights inside the 20 to the 18. A gain of 7 if it stands, but it won't.
McMillan was a man that caused the problem. He took off a little bit too early, and you say he was moving downfield, but he was moving upfield before the snap of the ball, which caused the 5-yard penalty, I believe. Here's the official. He'll give it to us.
Illegal motion on the offense. 5 yards. Replay, second down.
Butch Davis so comfortable with his quarterback, Ryan Clement. Clement playing within himself and the offense. A guy that's confident in his skills and the skills of the people around him. What are you most impressed with when you watch Ryan Clement this afternoon?
Same as when you started. He played just exactly within himself, as you said, doing what the coaches wanted to do. Very productive. Fourth quarter, sitting down, chewing on ice, and watching his good friend Scott Covington get experience and play during the moment.
Complete to the tight end, Mondreal Fulcher. They needed 18 yards for a first down, so they end up with 20 yards. Seth Hornack stopping Fulcher, a redshirt freshman out of Kansas.
This is just what any staff likes, what any coach likes. Be at home, get 35, 42 points, have the opponents have none, get everybody into the game, everybody's happy, and everybody's productive, not any injuries because nobody's overtired. Go home with a win, take a break, and get ready for your next game, which in that case is a huge game.
Florida State, October 12th. 2 weeks from today, right here at the Orange Bowl. McMillan dancing inside the 5 down to the 2, but there is a penalty marker right where Chris Jones, the tight end, threw a block at the 16-yard line. And it's a hold on Miami.
You see the play way back up there. It's usually a thing that happens that way. It's an encouraging thing for Pitt, but those are the kind of things that you don't want.
10-yard penalty, as part of the foul, replay first down.
Dick, I know one thing Butch Davis is pleased with late in the going. Scott Covington, the backup, who prepares himself like a starter, had come off the bench a couple times this year and has not been sharp, especially in the season opener against Memphis. He had hit just 10 of 25 throws this year, but he's been on target off the bench this afternoon.
It's very difficult for a backup quarterback to stay tuned in no matter who they are. They study like heck, but mentally it's awful hard when you know you're not going to play unless it doesn't count. But this is good experience for him. He's starting to mature and know that. There'll be a day this year when he's really needed. That's what Butch is upset about.
Pass goes incomplete on first down. Miami has the football at the 26-yard line. If they get it to the 1, they'll pick up a first down. Beautiful afternoon here in South Florida. Nice breeze blowing through the open end at the Orange Bowl, cooling off this crowd of about 33,000. Nick Williams scored on a touchdown play earlier today, a 17-yard pass reception. His first career catch, his first career touchdown. Everybody's had a piece of the action this afternoon for Miami. Danielle Ferguson with an 8-yard touchdown run. Tony Gator with 3 touchdown catches. Nick Williams with his touchdown reception, and Trent Jones with a 33-yard run for a score.
Let's see if we can pick up that fumble here.
Didn't see who dropped it, but Pitt will take over with 6.5 minutes left in the game.
Florida State game on October the 12th.
I think he's caught in the crowd and it comes out right there. That's a tough call because there's people all around it.
Well, Nick Williams had the football, but it winds up with Pittsburgh with 6.5 minutes left in your Orange Bowl Saturday. We'll be back to Miami.
Free for small business owners.
Now you can say goodbye to your bookkeeping hassles forever because the makers of Quicken have invented QuickBooks, the #1 selling accounting software that makes it fast and easy to do the things you don't love doing, like paying bills, writing invoices, figuring out what your customers owe, even tracking inventory and doing payroll. QuickBooks makes it all hassle-free. Call now to get a trial version absolutely free through this special limited-time TV offer.
So why did you leave AT&T?
I fell for the gimmicks.
And?
I'm disappointed. I miss AT&T.
AT&T misses you too. So we're making it easy to come back.
Anything that makes my life easier, I'm for it.
How does up to 100 free AT&T minutes sound?
I like free minutes.
We'll send you AT&T long-distance certificates good for up to 100 free minutes, just for switching back to AT&T.
100 free minutes, I'm there.
There's more. Only AT&T customers can get AT&T True Reach savings. Spend $25 a month and you save 25% to anyone, anytime, anywhere in the U.S. You're covered on every type of call on your AT&T phone bill.
What more could you ask for?
How about this? AT&T puts your savings in black and white.
What have I got to do to come back to you guys?
All you have to do is call 1-800-PIC-ATT, and you'll get up to 100 free AT&T minutes. So, what do you think?
I think we'll switch.
Good decision.
Thank you.
You know what to do.
That's your true choice, AT&T.
I'm John Sanders with an update from the Big East studio. A fumble sets this play up for Darnell Autry as he powers his way into the end zone. Indiana had led throughout, but number 25 Northwestern is back on top for the first time this afternoon. Meantime, Miami has led from its opening drive, right now 42-0, as we take you back to Dick McPherson and Eric Reed.
Thank you, John. Darnell Autry, another native of South Florida. What a recruiting advantage. What a pipeline South Florida's been for not only the University of Miami, Florida, Florida State, and the rest of the country.
That's an interesting thing. What happened here, it looks like the defensive play for Pitt pulled the ball right away from Miami, and that's how they turned over. I'm sorry I didn't even see it for you, Eric.
I didn't either. Got Chris Beasley, a new running back, into the game for Pittsburgh. Gets a short pickup. Chad Pegues, defensive tackle, on the stop. As you might expect, Coach. 42-0, the Canes lead. 6 minutes and change left. And Butch Davis does not have a single defensive starter on the field right now.
It's just exactly the way it should be. Everybody's sitting there having a little bit of ice, watching their teammates play, enjoying the heck out of this. These young men will see themselves on film on Sunday and Monday. That's the way to be in college football. Enjoy it.
Tony Zimmerman's first throw into the Miami bench. The true freshman was aiming it.
No doubt about the strength of his arm. He can throw the ball. Just got to lead the man in there.
Pass was intended for Leon Murray. So the future is now for Tony Zimmerman. Under normal circumstances, they would have redshirted their freshman quarterback. There's a look at Casey Jones, Miami's two-time first-team All-Big East center. And you talk about an all-day warrior. You look at Mr. Jones. 3rd down and 10 for Tony Zimmerman. Swings it out to LaFane Williams. Breaks one tackle and another, has the first down. LaFane Williams showing you some promise. A true freshman from Pahokee, Florida. He gains 14 yards on the play before Jack Hellman, the strong safety, put it into it.
Now this is what everybody's looking for out of a running back, to make something out of nothing. He had a great pass by Zimmerman. Now over there with breaking the tackle of 2 people, keeping his balance, another break of a tackle, moves the chains for a first down. And Zimmerman's first completion and first down as a freshman. See if that does anything for him.
Make him breathe a little easier. From the 40, Zimmerman has a 1st and 10. Looking for Andy Molinari, but actually Molinaro, but it was over his head. Carlos Jones covering Molinaro. He too, a true freshman from Washington, Pennsylvania. So Tony Zimmerman, who Pitt people say is their quarterback of the future, and I guess his future has arrived, as they will now get him experienced and try to get through some of his early stages of maturity. If he's the quarterback of the future has begun for Pitt. Zimmerman, incomplete. Again, that was intended for Chris Beasley.
Chris Beasley took his eye off the ball. These young people have got to learn to just take the ball, turn it upfield with the football. Don't turn upfield before you got it. It's very, very frustrating for the whole team when you can't put anything together as you're trying to save yourself in this ball game.
It may sound strange, but a huge game for Pitt next weekend when they host the Temple Owls. It won't mean much to people not involved with that game, but for those 2 teams that struggle to win, it represents an ideal opportunity to win.
Especially after Temple beat Pitt for the first time in their history last year.
Exactly, and that was the week prior to the Miami game, so it was interesting that Pitt rebounded with a strong effort last year against Miami. As you look at what's left on a very challenging schedule for the Panthers. At Notre Dame on November 16th, as if their conference slate wasn't challenging enough.
Just a murderous schedule that the University of Pittsburgh has. They possibly have 6 teams in the top 25, maybe even 7 before the year's over, and 4 of them away from home. Nobody can win under those circumstances, most especially a team trying to build back up.
Well, Johnny Majors said during the week, my only concern is what's right for this university. I will not address my future. 4th and 2, Zimmerman with time. And he had a man wide open over the middle, and Andy Molinaro, but that pass way off the mark for the true freshman.
You know, they've had 3 4th down plays now, all passes, all off the mark, and that's the only real field position that the Miami Hurricanes have had all day.
So the baptism for Tony Zimmerman has not gone well for Pitt, predictably so. Miami leading it with 6 touchdowns on the board.
You've spent your entire life sleeping in an old-fashioned flat bed, but now you have the opportunity to find out about a better, healthier way to relax and sleep. Get this free information kit about Craftmatic adjustable beds. Call toll-free, and a helpful operator will mail you a free Craftmatic adjustable bed catalog and this special rebate certificate. It's worth $200 off any Craftmatic Model 1 adjustable bed. Why is Craftmatic making this rebate offer? It's our way of saying thanks for taking the time to find out about Craftmatic. There is, of course, absolutely no obligation for calling toll-free and requesting this helpful information kit. So if you have any interest in adjustable beds, pick up your phone and call now.
Call toll-free 1-800-BED-9114. That's 1-800-BED-9114 toll-free. 1-800-BED-9114.
New Honey Nut Cheerios, and they're all for me.
Nobody can say no to new Honey Nut Cheerios. No, no, you can't say no to the Honey Nut O's and new Honey Nut Cheerios.
What's new is a better blend of real golden honey for a better taste and a bigger crunch.
Nobody can say no to the Honey Nut O's and new Honey Nut Cheerios. No, no, you can't say no to new Honey Nut Cheerios.
It's new.
Everybody loves this stuff.
Your picture postcard from scenic Miami, Florida. We enjoyed a lovely dinner last night. Fashionable South Beach. You enjoyed it, didn't you, Matt?
I know why you didn't pay, because you thought you were going to pay because it was your birthday today. If I'd have known, I would have paid. And I'll take care of that next week up there. But we had a wonderful dinner down there in whatever they call that place, South Beach or something. Avalon. Tremendous dinner.
Yes, Coach Mack feeling very trendy last night on Ocean Drive in South Beach. 42-0 Hurricanes. Trent Jones, nothing doing, Trent. He is thrown back by Julian Graham. Loss of a couple. You know, when we talk to people during the weeks about Butch Davis, the talented 44-year-old head coach in his second year with Miami, what makes him special? And the answers you get, his NFL background that he brings to the table, his attention to detail, his consistent discipline, and his ability to recruit. Coach, this guy is such a dynamic recruiter. We were in his office yesterday when a couple of University of Miami basketball assistants brought some recruits by, and what a pitch he gave those kids.
I got the names down for Boeheim, though. We'll get them.
2nd and 14. Look out. This is Gerard Daphnis, the big tight end, spun down at the 40-yard line. Needed 14 yards for a first down, and they picked up a dozen. Chuck Brown stopping Gerard Daphnis, a senior out of Miami, Florida.
You know, you see all these players from Miami. One of the results that you get with a game like this, and Coach Davis playing all these people, and then you see Julian Graham taking Roderick Humphrey's place on the other side, and you can see the depth that they're going to have at middle linebacker with the great play that he just made. So there's a lot of good things that can come out of this if it's used correctly by both teams, and they certainly look like they're trying to do the right thing here today.
On third and a couple, Trent Jones, easy pickup of the first down. Runs out of bounds at the 27-yard line. So pickup of 12 yards for Trent Jones. Curtis Anderson ran him out. As we wind down here in the fourth quarter, let's send it back to our studio and your host, John Sanders.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. All day long, BC been trying to come back against Navy, and they finally get there. Matt Hasselbeck fades back, but watch the beautiful catch in the end zone by Todd Pollock, a juggling catch. He hangs on, and Boston College has moved ahead 36-32. Let's go back to Miami. Eric.
Wild shootout up in Boston. That'd be a big win if BC could hold on. One they need to hold on to.
Yeah, they certainly need to beat the service academies as they get into the meat of their Big East schedule. And you've got to admire the way they came back, and Hasselbeck doesn't panic. Now let's see what Miami's got to do for the rest of the year here.
Well, they have another week off before hosting Bobby Bowden's second-ranked Florida State Seminoles 2 weeks from today. And look out for East Carolina. They come up at a very opportune time on the schedule for them. Then big games at West Virginia, Virginia Tech here. And if Syracuse could get their act on the right track, November 30th has the possibility of being one of the best games in the Big East this season.
Well, the act starts in about a half an hour up there in Syracuse with Virginia Tech. And as I said earlier, a lot about the Big East will be decided up there this afternoon. And Frank Beamer and the Virginia Tech team has the chance for the knockout punch. And Well, Syracuse has a chance to get right up off the deck and make the Big East Conference alive and well.
Let me ask you point blank. You know the Syracuse program well. We have already seen Virginia Tech and West Virginia on our Big East games of the week. I've got a question for you where Miami fits in after this 1st and 10. Trent Jones bouncing around. He gets to the 20-yard line, picks up 7. So we've seen all those teams. Now we see 10th-ranked Miami today. How do you see them fitting into the Big East picture? Are they still the class of this league?
I think the top 3 teams coming out of the media day, Syracuse #1, Miami #2, Virginia Tech #3. The one that's really emerged is West Virginia with that powerful defense and playing so well. We'll find out some more tonight at Maryland. And the one that's the question mark was the one that was picked as the winner, Syracuse. As I said, it'll all happen today. We'll know all about the Big East.
2nd and 4, Covington bobbles the snap, has to go back to his own 32-yard line to get it, a loss of 11 yards. Well, how impressed are you from Miami's efforts today? Have they changed your vision of the Hurricanes?
No. I said last year that the best football team in the Big East, and I told that to Coach Davis yesterday, as the season ended, it was them. They chose to stay out of the bowl games. They did a job, a number on Syracuse, and so did Virginia Tech. 2 powerful teams. I think you've got 3 to 4 outstanding teams in the Big East, and the rest have got to do some catching up.
Third down, 14 to go for Scott Covington. He'll keep it on the ground to Trent Jones, and Jones spun down by DeGems Don, number 91. Well, next Saturday, we'll be in the cooler confines of the air-conditioned Carrier Dome. We'll see if Syracuse could get their high-powered act together against an improving Rutgers team led by the 5th-year senior Mike Stevens. Rutgers at the Dome against Syracuse. High noon next Saturday. Coach McPherson, yours truly, Eric Reed, will be there to enjoy it with you. And here is a 50-yard field goal attempt from George Gaitan. And he nails it. Andy Crossland with the field goal, not Gaitan, excuse me. 50-yard boot for Andy Crossland, a redshirt freshman kicker.
When things go well, things go well. He just swung it that nice and loose and easy, no pressure on him. Ahead to 45 to nothing, or whatever it was, 42 to nothing. Now it's 45 to nothing. Everybody, this is a happy day in the Hurricane land. Very, very sad day. 2 weeks in a row for Pitt.
Well, last 2 games, Johnny Major's Pitt Panthers have been outscored 117 to nothing.
Please, please.
I mean, that's too much punishment for a 61-year-old head coach that's been through so much.
Well, you don't feel it.
You know,
I don't worry about him. He's not even 61 years old. He lies about his age. He's about 42. But I think you feel bad for the kids, and you feel bad that they had to go to Ohio State 1 week and come down here the next week. And the schedule they have is very, very tough in the 90s. Who knew those teams would be so powerful and compared to Pitt? Pitt's got to build it back up. Pitt fans have got to have patience and proper direction for that program from the top down, and I think they'll be all right. They've got a good man in John Majors. He's the guy that brought it back to respectability in the 70s.
Now, John Majors, a demanding, tough, honest man. He will not sugarcoat any situation. He said earlier this week, it's clear that we aren't even as good as we were last year, and last year Pitt finished with a 2-9 record. They will fall to 1-4 with a loss today, 0-2 in the Big East. Miami will improve its record to 4-0, and the Hurricanes will jump out to a 2-0 mark in Big East play this year.
I think John will be better than the 2-9. What he's talking about is putting the whole thing together. He'll be better than 2-9 this year, but he's just not able to play with the big boys, and he thought he was a little bit better armed from that standpoint.
This is LaFane Williams starting off at the goal line. It's a tough little running. Penalty marker down, and Williams is dropped at the 16-yard line. Just 42 seconds left in our afternoon here in Miami. We told you about Miami's dominance in Big East play. They'll go to 27-2 lifetime within the league, but this includes their all-time record against schools that are now in the conference with Miami, and it's still very impressive.
Nowhere near as impressive what they've done in the 90s as the Big East was formed. The dominant team in the Big East is like the dominant team in the ACC. Both Florida schools. You mentioned before about the recruiting ability of people down here. A lot of people now are getting that talent that's left over from the three teams in Florida. And his win straight number 11 in a row for our good friend Paul D.
We were talking with Miami Athletic Director Paul D. earlier this afternoon as Mike Duck is tripped up. You talk about an athletic director zeroing in and getting the right man to guide his program. He told us that 10 minutes into his first conversation with Butch Davis, he knew that Davis was the man he wanted.
Question is, could he get him? That's the key, and they put it together, and I think they're happy with that pick, and quite honestly, so am I. I like to see somebody like that leading the Miami program, and the way that President Foote and Paul D, the athletic administration, want it done.
Well, the Hurricanes are alive and well here in Miami. Mike Duck dropped the football. Now he still has it, but he could not drop Miami tacklers. Gets to the 10-yard line, the final play of a long afternoon for Pittsburgh. Miami kept getting better as this game grew older. They led it 7-0 after 1, 21-0 at the half, 35-zip through 3, and a 45-0 shutout win. Back-to-back Big East shutouts for Butch Davis and his impressive 10th-ranked Miami team.
4 games, 13.5 points. And the young man from Pitt made a statement on the last play, didn't give up anything, and that's the way you like to see everybody leave the game.
So the Hurricanes will take an 11-game winning streak into their game against second-ranked Florida State 2 weeks from today. Miami made it look easy here at the Orange Bowl this afternoon. Let's send you back to our Big East studio and our host, John Sanders.